Apocalypse ruined plants vs. zombies. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 25, The Excited Liang Crossing. With the help of the Torch Crown, the Flame Pea killed the first zombie in no time. In fact, the zombie only passed through the 7th row and came to the 5th row area. Great. As expected, the lengthened front line means that the plants have more time to attack. After all, the zombies have to pass through 2 more rows than last night, which means that the zombies need to withstand attacks for a longer time. The second zombie also appeared in other areas as usual. Su Lin planted frozen lettuce directly in the 5th row of area A. The second level frozen lettuce has long range attack capabilities, and it can be planted directly without consuming sunlight points. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is a civilian plant. There were a few biu sounds when the zombie entered the attack range. The frozen lettuce also spit out fragrance. It spit out pieces of blue ice. Although these small blue ice cubes will not freeze the zombies in place, they also greatly slow down the zombies' pace. The zombies, who were already slow enough, are now slow as turtles. Although the attack power was not strong enough, there was still the pea shooter that Su Lin had just planted. The pea shooter was located in the 2nd row of area A. The heavy firepower appeared and quickly solved the second zombie. And it was a zombie with green light all over its body. Successfully obtained. Energy beams. War ready. And because of the hard work of the 2nd level sunflower, Su Lin took advantage of every opportunity to plant sunflowers in the 1st row of all areas. He didn't expect that he could plant sunflowers in such a short time. He even protected 2 areas. Su Lin, whose confidence soared, also welcomed the iron barrel zombies and roadblock zombies. Seeing the iron barrel zombies appearing in area A, Su Lin even planted kiwis in the 6th row. Both offense and defense. On the one hand, the kiwis protected the frozen lettuce behind, and the protected frozen lettuce also kept on doing its duty, constantly slowing down the iron barrel zombies and making them stagger. The kiwi seized this opportunity and attacked again and again. He kept swinging the golden hoop in his hand, spinning, rolling, and hitting the barrel zombie. The barrel on his head was even more creaking. The attack time of the 2nd level kiwi fruit was increased to 4 seconds. The continuous attacks were enough to give the barrel zombie a concussion. With the help of the pea shooter in the back, the barrel zombie that had been showing off its might quickly left the stage. The roadblock zombie that appeared in area B was intercepted by the nuts in the 7th row. It was also attacked by the cabbage shooters in the 2nd row and the pea shooters in the 3rd row. It was so unlucky, even if the nuts were hunted down. But the distance between the roadblock zombie and the pea shooter was too far, and it was too late to attack. Hahaha. That's how it should be. Seeing that the situation was so good, Su Lin was very happy. And in the attic, there was a sound of footsteps. Su Lin, who was immersed in the battle in front of him, was unaware of it. It was the voice behind him that made him turn his head. Su Lin, what's going on? Why is it so noisy outside? What are you doing behind the door? Su Lin looked back and was stunned. The reason was simple. It was Liang Crossing. It was Liang Crossing, who was wearing a thin pajamas that was barely visible. Su Lin swallowed and couldn't stop swallowing as she looked at the white flowers in front of her, enjoying the spring scenery. Oh. Liang Crossing's cheeks turned red when she realized something. She lowered her head and said shyly, I don't know why there are some pajamas in the closet, and they are brand new. I was too sleepy, so I just wore them. I didn't expect them to fit me well. Oh. Su Lin pursed her lips and felt a little dry in the mouth. What are you doing? Why is it so noisy outside? This was the first time Liang Crossing wore pajamas in front of a boy. In the days of sleep, she wanted to satisfy her curiosity. She also plucked up the courage to ask again. It's the zombie monster I mentioned. Do you want to see it? Liang Crossing was startled and woke up instantly. Curiously, she walked to Su Lin's side and looked at the situation outside through the window. She was so scared that she stepped back. She covered her mouth and didn't make any sound. Are you okay? Su Lin asked with concern. However, Liang Crossing's reaction also surprised him. She stepped back in fear, and she covered her mouth in fear. Both were right. But why did Liang Crossing's eyes suddenly show excitement? Question mark? Liang Crossing stepped up again, leaning against the window. His eyes were full of excitement of discovering a new world. Wow. It's really a zombie. Wow wow wow. Liang Crossing excitedly pulled Su Lin's arm and shook it hard. I thought you were lying, but it was true. Ah. It's true. Su Lin couldn't stop rolling his eyes. I didn't expect Liang Crossing to be such a little girl who was excited about mysterious and unknown things. It was a very strong contrast with her cold appearance. But Su Lin didn't hate this contrast. In fact, he enjoyed the feeling of being held by the arm. The soft touch swept over, like the most gentle thing in the world. Unable to help himself, Su Lin blushed. Hey, what's the matter with these plants? It's what I said, magical plants. They can protect us, grow in seconds. And by the way, the food we eat is also these. Oh, through the window, seeing the plants fighting bravely, Liang Crossing has completely believed what Su Lin said. It's just that the yellow round plant in the front seems to have been killed by the zombies. Huh. Su Lin was stunned. I didn't expect that when I was introducing it to Liang Crossing, I was careless and the zombies also drove straight in. It happened that the nuts in the 7th row of area B triggered the effect of nutshell shattering when they died. Directly repelled several zombies in front of them. It bought enough time for the plants behind to attack. Although he hesitated for a while, the sunlight points were constantly accumulating. Su Lin hurriedly planted frantically. In the back row, there are pea shooters plus torch crowns and cabbage shooters. In the front row, there are kiwis, frozen lettuces, and nuts. Occasionally, Su Lin would consider planting potato mines in the front row. This kind of plant, which can destroy everything with a boom, is of course better to be planted in the front. Strive for an explosion to kill the zombies directly. It's all over. After temporarily repelling this wave of zombies. Finally, the pyramid zombies, flag zombies, and assembly flag zombies appeared. Come on. This time, I will never lose again. Chapter 26 Revenge. Success. Ding, a large wave of zombies is coming. Please be prepared. Seeing the first pyramid zombie appear, Su Lin looked at the A area where it appeared vigilantly. No, a pyramid zombie also appeared in the B area. Come on. Let me see what you can do. Su Lin, who was highly focused, kept an eye on the situation in other areas. Now he has 3 energy beams. He can release 3 big moves. The big move must be used at the most correct time, and on the most correct plants. Only in this way can he turn the tide and win. The criterion for judgment is naturally which area has the most zombies. Area C. 2 pyramid zombies appeared. There are no pyramid zombies in Area D for the time being, but a flag zombie and several flag zombies have appeared. And Area E also has no pyramid zombies, but there are 2 collection flag zombies. Su Lin used the first energy beam without hesitation on the pea shooters in the 2nd row of Area E. Puff puff puff. 60 peas. Fired together. Moreover, it passed the 3rd row of torch tree crowns. The blazing flames rushed towards the zombie group in front of it. After quickly repelling the zombies with the gathering flags in the front, the flame peas continued to charge. Killed the zombies that just appeared behind the gathering flag zombies one by one. All the flame peas completed their tasks brilliantly without any waste. This is why Su Lin did not use his ultimate move until now. Then he used his second ultimate move on the kiwi in Area C. The kiwi suddenly jumped up. It was quite like the style of his grandson Monkey King. The Ruai golden cudgel in his hand became thicker and longer. I don't know what the golden cudgel was thinking, to have such a reaction to such a vicissitudes of life, old and ugly zombie in front of it. And this extended version of the golden cudgel, at the moment, when the kiwi jumped down, heavily smashed on the pyramid zombie in front of it. The attack ranges, as long as 4 rows. Boom. 1 stick down. Smash the pyramid's hat in front of him. The cabbage projector in the back row of Area C just threw a cabbage over and knocked down the pyramid zombie. The operation was as fierce as a tiger. The crisis was temporarily resolved. Then, Su Lin continued to plant on the empty land. The zombies that drove straight in had already devoured the plants in the first few rows. Now he had to continue to strengthen the defense force in the back row. At the same time, Su Lin, who held the last energy beam, was always alert to the situation in each area. Always ready to use the last big move to put out the fire. Ding, please pay attention. The last wave of zombies is coming. Please hold your head up and prepare to die. Die. Su Lin sneered. Forget about last night's situation. Will I die tonight? Yeah, Liang Crossing, who was watching the battle silently, looked at Su Lin in confusion. What are you talking to yourself about? Nothing. Su Lin twitched the corner of his mouth, almost forgetting that there was someone next to him. Aren't you going to sleep? Anyway, the situation is like this. I will protect this shelter. After all, it is the only way for us to survive in the apocalypse. Well, I want to take a look. Liang Crossing blinked. If possible, I want to go out and see what these zombies are like. If you are not afraid of death, go out. Besides, you will distract me here and I won't be able to command these plants to fight. Su Lin was a little helpless. Okay then. Hearing this, Liang Crossing had to shrug and give up. After taking a look at the situation outside, he went upstairs and went back to sleep. Now, Su Lin can finally focus on the battle in front of him. At this time, there are only half of the plants in the back row left, plus the last energy beam, which is all Su Lin has. Fortunately, the previous wave of zombies has been completely defeated. The last wave of zombies has just stepped on the 7th row. There is plenty of opportunity to counterattack. Su Lin waved his hand and planted again. The 6th row, nuts. While waiting for the cooling time, Su Lin directly chose frozen lettuce or kiwi fruit. After cooling, plant nuts again. The 5th row, the 4th row, respectively, selected plants that can perform long-range attacks. There are no ordinary zombies in the last wave of zombies. At least they are all powerful zombies that start from roadblock zombies. But Su Lin, who has made sufficient preparations, can only leave it to fate and wait for the best time to use the energy beams. Roadblock zombies, barrel zombies, pyramid zombies, flag zombies, gather flag zombies, all appeared together. A large black mass. While whistling, it brought an unimaginable sense of oppression. Su Lin held his breath and concentrated, and silently cheered for the plants in his heart. This time, the plants finally lived up to Su Lin's expectations. The power of the second level plants was also reflected at this time. The special abilities brought by the successful advancement made it even easier to deal with zombies. It's just that the number of zombies is too large. When one falls, it will move forward a little distance. The zombies behind followed closely. Relying on the powerful zombie seed tactics, they devoured the plants step by step. But the plants were still attacking hard. All the zombies should be out. Su Lin swallowed his saliva and calculated the number of zombies at this time. He decided to release the last big move directly. The big move of frozen lettuce. I saw that the frozen lettuce that Su Lin specially arranged in the 3rd row was swept by the energy of the energy beams. It even burst out with a dazzling blue light. Then, it exploded directly. All the zombies were frozen for a full 22 seconds. Who would have thought that the small body of frozen lettuce could burst out such a strong freezing ability? The completely frozen zombies could not move and had to let the plants continue to attack without even a chance to fight back. Finally, when the last poor pyramid zombie died tragically under the peas, in addition to the sunflowers, Su Lin's farm still had 9 or 10 plants left. A hearty victory. It was also revenge for the frustrating battle last night. Ding, congratulations on defeating the 5th round of zombies. Ding, congratulations on getting 260 experience points. Ding, congratulations on getting 2000 sunshine points. Ding, congratulations on getting 120 gold coins. Ding, congratulations on upgrading. Ding, congratulations on unlocking the land. Ding, congratulations on upgrading the small farm to LV10. Brilliant light upgrade. LV2. Ding, brilliant light LV2. Can accommodate up to 10 people. Ding, congratulations on unlocking the boomerang shooter. Kwin. Hearing this, Su Lin took a deep breath. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel. Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 27, LV2's Brilliant Light. Finally, the Brilliant Light has been upgraded. It seems that this radiant upgrade condition can be triggered every time the farm is upgraded to level 10. Why didn't you say it earlier? I was so overwhelmed. It can accommodate. Oh, if it can accommodate 10 people at a time, it won't be a problem for Su Yue's best friend and classmates to come. And I can also accept some other decent people. TSK. System. Plants vs. Zombies level. Farm LV10. Plants. Sunflower asterisk 5, pea shooter asterisk 3, cabbage shooter asterisk 2, nut asterisk 1, kiwi asterisk 3, right square bracket, sunshine points. 30/50, planted land. 40 defense value. 300/300, experience value. 305/600, ability, extraction, gold coin upgrade, unlocked plants, sunflower, pea shooter, vertical fruit, potato bud, cabbage shooter, frozen lettuce, torch stump, charm mushroom, kiwi, unlocked blueprints, boomerang shooter, vegetable question, gold coins. 150, plant advancement, pea shooter, level 2, cabbage shooter, level 2, sunflower, level 2, kiwi, level 2, nuts, level 2, frozen lettuce, level 2, brilliant. Light, LV2 satisfied. I got the land again, and it's vertical. Now there are a total of 8 rows of land that can be planted. The front is extended again. Su Lin speculated that the land may be expanded again, but the horizontal area will only be A2E. All I can do is wait to continue to upgrade the level and see what happens. Unlock 2 more plants. I'm so happy this time. Click to view the plant unlocking materials. Banana plus small card equals boomerang shooter, Chinese cabbage plus boxing gloves equals vegetable question small card. Su Lin raised his eyebrows and a bad premonition flashed through his mind. Now I can only hope that the facts are not what I thought. Otherwise, wouldn't that be a rip-off? I can only look for a postcard or business card. Banana or Chinese cabbage. It's getting harder and harder to buy these now. Boxing gloves. Do I have to go to the boxing gym to find them? Forget it. I have my beloved motorcycle anyway. I'll drive slowly tomorrow and look slowly. After stretching, Su Lin walked out of the door and picked up a treasure chest on the ground. He opened the treasure chest while complaining. Why is there only one treasure chest today? There's nothing to pursue. But when he opened it, Su Lin was very happy. Ding, congratulations on getting 10 kilograms of beef, 10 kilograms of pork, 10 kilograms of duck, 10 kilograms of chicken, and 10 kilograms of mutton. 10 kilograms of milk. Ding, the food obtained from the treasure chest will automatically be stored in the food of the extracted plants. Meat. Su Lin's eyes were shining. God knows how annoying it is to eat these green and yellow plants recently. Meat. Without meat, can it be called a meal? At most, it can only be regarded as filling the stomach. Even Su Yue was complaining yesterday, eating peas every day, almost becoming a pea man. Not to mention milk, a healthy breakfast drink. Su Lin couldn't believe that life on a small farm could be so good. The outside world couldn't even drink water, but now his family started to drink milk, and they also had a lot of fish and meat. Oh, there's no fish now, but I believe there will be some. Ha ha ha. If there were more beer, that life would be. TSK. Is this still the end of the world? I'm afraid it's not like living a good life in the peach blossom land. He tidied up the land a little, planted many sunflowers, and placed some pea shooters in the front row. After finishing the last work, Su Lin returned to the house and prepared to rest early. Tomorrow would be another busy day of collecting materials. What Su Lin didn't expect was that Liang Crossing was still waiting for him at the stairs. Huh? What are you doing here? Aren't you sleeping yet? Su Lin was a little surprised. I can't sleep. It's too noisy outside. Did you defeat the zombies? Liang Crossing, who was still sleepy at first, couldn't help but shine brightly when he said the word zombies. Seeing Liang Crossing's eyes, Su Lin was a little flustered. Well, don't get too excited. All the zombies outside have been dealt with. Really? Lion Crossing blinked excitedly. How did you deal with so many zombies? Plants. They all have magic and can protect us. Oh. Lion Crossing nodded. Your farm is really beyond imagination. Hahaha, I really came to the right place. There is milk in the refrigerator. It can be used as breakfast. Go to bed early. I have to take you back to the dormitory tomorrow to pack up. Yeah. Okay. Lion Crossing nodded excitedly. I plan to get up early tomorrow and take the opportunity to go to the land outside to see what the so-called magic plants are like. A good night's sleep. After Su Lin got up, he came to the first floor, but he also saw that the two girls had woken up. In fact, they were living a petty bourgeoisie life. They were eating fried steaks and drinking milk. Huh? Where did you get the steaks? From the refrigerator, brother. Not bad. Su Yue raised a thumb. I built a stove overnight. Huh? Oh. Hahaha. Yes. Su Lin, who was half asleep, also glanced at the corner of the house and saw that there was indeed a stove. It might be because the level of the farm reached LV10. Everything inside and outside has been updated. Even the small farm on the attribute interface has become farm. Looking at the brand new house, Su Lin was in a good mood. Here, it's more like a country villa. Leisurely life. And the meat in the refrigerator is still very fresh, so you won't get upset if you eat it. Lion Crossing did not forget to add, looking at her frightened eyes, I'm afraid she has suffered this misfortune before. If you like it, eat more. As much as you can. As much as you can. Hahaha. Brother, sit down. I'll go fry one for you. Su Yue stood up and ran to the stove. After a healthy and delicious meal, Su Lin and Lion Crossing walked out of the room together. Are these all sunflowers? Lion Crossing blinked and asked curiously. Yeah. Su Lin nodded. Why do I remember that what was planted in this area yesterday was not sunflowers? What about other plants? It's said that there is no need for growth time, which is calculated in seconds. Plants, snap, there is. Snap, and it's gone. How magical. Lion Crossing sighed. She leaned forward and asked carefully, can I touch it? Sure. After getting permission, Lion Crossing stretched out her hand excitedly and touched the furry sunflower. The feel is a little different, so comfortable. This harmonious scene was interrupted by the vulgarity of the system. Ding. Sunflower, male, feels happy and produces 250 sunshine points. Chapter 28 Sunflower. Su Lin's mouth twitched. He was speechless. What the hell is this? After being touched by a pair of delicate hands, he felt very comfortable. What kind of operation is this? Su Lin stared at the sunflower in front of him. Looking at its cute face, he became shy. After finishing the job, he just, Lion Crossing, don't touch this one. Touch another one. If you touch a beautiful woman, you will get sunshine points. Why not? Huh? Lion Crossing was confused by Su Lin's strange request, but he did it obediently. The strange thing is that only one or two of the other sunflowers had such a reaction. It seems that not every sunflower is like this. Let's go. Su Lin shrugged and said as he led the scooter over. Riding on his beloved scooter, he stumbled all the way through potholes. Finally, he arrived in Chunfeng City. When everyone was defeated, several people on the street were attracted by the sound of the engine. They looked at Su Lin. There was a hint of envy and cruelty in his eyes. What he envied was that the two people looked like they were well fed and well drinking, with rosy complexions. Su Lin immediately became alert. When he was browsing the news in the morning, he had already seen the riot news about Chunfeng City. There were even casualties, with a total of 12 dead. Who would have thought that after the crustal radiation appeared, the first deaths were not caused by starvation or thirst, but by fighting for survival supplies. Cruelty means that these people might want to do something wrong. They might want to knock the two people unconscious with a stick, so as to find out where their survival supplies are. If that doesn't work, they can only eat human flesh. Su Lin twisted the handle even more frantically and roared away. He ran away immediately. He left behind several people who were stunned and watched him leave. Why is Chunfeng City so depressed? Lion Crossing, who was sitting in the back row, asked puzzledly. Have you forgotten what happened yesterday and the news in the morning? Is the situation so serious? Liang Crossing swallowed his saliva. Maybe it was because the life on the farm last night was too sweet. When returning from heaven to hell, the contrast psychology emerged, making this hell even more terrifying. What else? The news also said that not only Chunfeng City, but other cities have also seen riots of varying degrees. We can only take care of ourselves. Yeah. Looking at the dilapidated scene in front of him, it was really hard to imagine the prosperity of Chunfeng City a week ago. With a shiver, Liang Crossing stretched out his trembling hands and hugged Su Lin. Su Lin stiffened for a moment and vaguely seemed to hear Liang Crossing's choking voice. He didn't say much. A hug can bring a little sense of security in the end times. Then, he drove Liang Crossing directly back to his home and said, "Wait here for me to pick you up. I'm going to take care of some things." Yeah. Okay. Sure enough, Liang Crossing just cried. The corners of his eyes were a little red. Maybe it was because of the tears. Liang Crossing's deep eyes were even more strong and unyielding. Driving alone on the road, Su Lin went to the vegetable market first. Sorry, it's closed. Supermarket? It's closed. Shop? It's also closed. Fuck, Su Lin twitched his mouth. How can I collect materials if nothing is open? Can I only go to the suburbs? I remember there was a farmhouse not far away. I wonder if there are any more there. He made up his mind and stepped on the accelerator. Finally, he saw a banana forest in a village field. It should be planted by someone. There is also a farmland next to it. I hope there are Chinese cabbages in it. He took a deep breath and was forced to be a thief. But Su Lin didn't think anyone would catch him. Why? Have you seen a banana forest that is light green, so light that it has a little amber color? The banana forest in front looks like this. This is the result of soil pollution. The plants have mutated. Who dares to eat it? Su Lin stretched out his hand and broke off a slightly transparent banana and threw it into his backpack. Then he came to the farmland next to him. Chinese cabbage? Is a cabbage with a little gray still a cabbage? Although these are not for eating, but just for materials. But seeing the cabbage, that is good on weekdays, turned into this state, anyone would feel sad. Put the big gray cabbage into the backpack. There are a total of 4 materials, and Su Lin has collected 2. He still needs the so-called small cards and boxing gloves. Let's go to the boxing gym first. Su Lin shrugged his shoulders. At least, the material that looks the easiest has been done. Just as he was about to ride his beloved motorcycle and whiz away, a small card stacked on his seat attracted his attention. It was a business card. Maybe it was blown by the strong wind. He picked it up casually. It said Manager X of 30 Company. Manager is bullshit. Just take this card and try it. The system did not clearly explain what the card was, although he guessed a little in his heart. But as long as the truth has not been fully revealed, it may not be so excessive. Impatiently, Su Lin directly put the banana and the business card together. It didn't take a moment. Su Lin knew it was going to fail, because he didn't have the same feeling as when he was fusing the materials before. It seems that I can only take a risk. Let's get the boxing gloves first. It passed by. Su Lin soon arrived at the destination of this trip, the boxing gym in the center of the city. What he didn't expect was that the boxing gym was actually open. In this period, when everyone is in danger and has no food to eat, the boxing gym is still open. Question mark? It's just that there are not many people. Pushing the door in, there are only a few scattered people, as if they are gathering. Everyone, I think you also know the situation of our Chunfeng City at this time. I'm afraid our boxing gym can't hold on, a middle-aged strong man said earnestly. There's no way. The whole nation lives and dies together. You can't even take care of yourself, right? So after the disbandment, I hope you can live well, and if you can, go and help others more. Su Lin, who was hiding and peeking at the side, couldn't help shaking his head. In addition to lamenting and sighing, what else can he do? This boxing gym has been open for many years, and it just disappeared like that. Who? The middle-aged strong man looked at Su Lin. Oh, freshman? Sorry, our boxing gym is going to close down in the next few days and we won't accept anyone. We don't have anything to eat here. If you want to beg, go somewhere else. Su Lin's clothes were all dirty as he had just come off the farm. No wonder the strong man mistakenly thought that Su Lin was begging. Su Lin rolled his eyes. No, I'm here to get a pair of boxing gloves. Hearing Su Lin's purpose, everyone in the boxing gym was stunned. Because what he said meant, in the world of boxers, chapter 29, a lean camel is bigger than a horse. Ha ha ha. The middle-aged sturdy man laughed. I didn't expect that my boxing gym was about to close, but someone came to challenge it. Not bad. It can be regarded as a perfect ending for the boxing gym. Ha. Su Lin was stunned. He just wanted to come here to ask for a pair of boxing gloves. How did it become a challenge? He was completely confused. No, I just want boxing gloves, not to challenge the gym. Little brother, a boxer next to him, explained. In the world of boxers, asking for boxing gloves means asking for a challenge. The middle-aged sturdy man interrupted Su Lin's hesitation. Hello, I'm the director, just call me Liu. What's your name? Su Lin. Su Lin said the name subconsciously. Don't worry, I can see that you are just an ordinary person. Although I don't know why you want boxing gloves, maybe you want to keep it as a souvenir. This Liu is a bit narcissistic and nagging. Don't worry, I will definitely show mercy. Just a sparring match is fine. It's just a favor to put an end to my boxing gym. I will also give you boxing gloves, no matter how many you want. Liu said sincerely. It seems that the boxing gym is really important to him. There is even a hint of pleading in his tone. Then come on. At this point, he had to do it reluctantly. Let me make a promise first. Don't hit me in the face. Haha, of course. Come on, put on your protective gear and gloves, and have a fight. After some preparation, it can be seen that Liu is very excited. Although his opponent is just a rookie, he is very happy that someone has challenged him. In order to save his life, Su Lin even asked to wear the thickest protective clothing for himself. 2 against 2. The red and blue players are ready, just waiting for the referee's order to start the last fight in the boxing gym. Su Lin, let me ask you. Liu, wearing protective clothing is like a different person. There is a feeling of I'm an invincible boxer. I can tell at a glance that you are not a martial artist with your skinny body. Why would you want boxing gloves? What's the use of them in this world? Just for self-defense. Su Lin shrugged. Hearing this, Liu nodded in agreement. Then, let's get started. Just stop when it's enough. Yeah, Su Lin also took a fighting posture, the boxing posture he learned from TV. Su Lin knew that no matter what, he would not be Liu's opponent. Although if they really fought, Su Lin could still cheat by using guns, but there was no need. The only chance of winning, maybe. Su Lin bit his lip. Under normal circumstances, he would never win. But if there was a chance, even if it was 1 in 100,000, he would try it. That is. Su Lin pursed his lips, his eyes were sharp, and he stared at Liu. It was Liu who took the initiative. He didn't know why Su Lin didn't attack him, so he could only do it himself. He walked over with a quick step, swinging his fist like a bayonet, swinging it at Su Lin. Su Lin was not in a hurry. Although he could not see the speed of his punches at all, it was always right to run away. Liu almost looked at Su Lin, who was running away. The rules are not like this. Boxers should fight each other. Su Lin, you don't know the rules. You know I haven't been in boxing before. How can I know the rules? Su Lin rolled his eyes. Don't whine. It's impossible for me to learn on the spot. Besides, for the last match in the boxing gym, don't you think it would be better to have some fragrance of freedom? Ha ha ha. That's fine. Then let's fight freely, but you can't leave this range. Liu pointed to the floor. That's a must. Then, I'm coming. After saying that, Su Lin actually rushed up directly. He wanted to sneak attack, but when he realized that Liu had reacted, he stopped in his tracks. After a normal fight, it can only be described as boring. No matter how Liu attacked, Su Lin just dodged and ran away. Liu, who had the professional habits of a boxer, would not chase after a retreating enemy. It was like a cat catching a mouse. Su Lin's occasional lucky attacks did not cause much damage. But fighting is fighting. No matter how Su Lin dodged and counterattacked, he was still knocked down by the inexperienced Liu. After several staggering steps, Su Lin felt dizzy. If he hadn't stood firm in a horse stance. I'm afraid the outcome would have been decided. Come again. Su Lin spit out the red blood in his mouth viciously and stared at Lao Liu. Lao Liu was stunned by Su Lin's momentum. For a novice, this kind of damage is often enough. But unexpectedly, Su Lin still had the desire to fight again. Lao Liu stared at Su Lin breathlessly, as if he wanted to figure something out. But Su Lin's pupils were extremely deep, so deep that they were a little mysterious. In comparison, Su Lin was not that tired, but looked relaxed. This is exactly why Su Lin has some confidence. After all, he has been eating and drinking well these days, and is very healthy. And Lao Liu's face is full of yellow and haggardness, and his slightly bent back tells of his weakness. In comparison, Su Lin is at ease. This is also Su Lin's plan. During the fight, dodging and counter-attacking are to consume Lao Liu's physical strength. Let his already scarce physical strength run out directly. His stomach, which was already rumbling, roared even more. Hoo. The panting Lao Liu looked at Su Lin in surprise. Boy, what's wrong with you? You're not tired? Gurgle. A sound came, blushing Lao Liu's face. Ha, that's just a little physical strength consumed. Su Lin looked relaxed. Lao Liu gritted his teeth. If it weren't for the fact that I haven't eaten enough for a few days and I can't use my strength. With narrowed eyes, Lao Liu took a brisk step forward. He knew that he had to fight quickly. If he kept on procrastinating, it would be Lao Liu who would suffer. Su Lin took a few steps back, trying to avoid Lao Liu's fist, but Lao Liu had already made up his mind. The whistling fist, accompanied by changing steps, stuck to Su Lin in an instant. No matter how Su Lin's soul escaped, he couldn't avoid Lao Liu's fist. After a few punches, Su Lin was beaten back again and finally ran out of the outer circle and was directly eliminated. It hurts. Su Lin took off his protective gear with a painful look on his face. At the same time, he also made a gesture of surrender. I'm out. I lose. Even if he loses, he can get boxing gloves, just for the sake of showing it. Sure enough, a lean camel is bigger than a horse. Su Lin couldn't help but chapter 30 old pervert system. Old Liu breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the fight was resolved quickly, otherwise, he staggered and almost fainted. His face was pale, and he was dizzy. If he hadn't been in the boxing gym, he would have fallen down long ago. In a trance, he didn't know who won or lost. Su Lin was indeed bruised and purple, with blood on the corners of his mouth, but he looked lively. Old Liu was indeed not injured, but his face was haggard, and he was trembling. If you didn't know, you would think he was about to die. Thank you, Director Liu, for showing mercy. Su Lin nodded and expressed his gratitude. At the same time, he also picked up the boxing gloves he had just worn and shook them. Then I will accept this failure without hesitation. Just as Su Lin was about to turn around and leave, with a plop, old Liu fainted on the ground. Director. Several students rushed up anxiously, very anxious. Su Lin also walked up, without thinking, lack of water and food, and fainted from hunger. Su Lin shrugged his shoulders, and after much persuasion, the other party showed mercy, and gave him boxing gloves. He just regarded it as a good deed. Get out of the way, let me see what happened to the curator. Go away. A student was a little angry. What happened? How could such a strong curator Liu fainted like this? Could it be that Su Lin used some insidious tricks? In excitement, the student grabbed Su Lin's collar. What did you do? Why did the curator faint? Su Lin rolled his eyes and directly opened the student's hand. With a look of disdain. I disdain to use such a trick. Curator Liu must have fainted from hunger. The student was stunned, and then his rumbling stomach also made him realize the reality. At the same time, the student also noticed Su Lin's face, extremely rosy, and still very healthy. Take it. I just brought some food and drinking water. Su Lin took out the food and water he brought to fill his stomach from his backpack. Seeing the packed beef buns, cabbage and mutton fried rice, and bottles of milk in front of him, several people's eyes glowed with oily green light. Let's save the director first. Su Lin waved his hand and turned to leave. Fortunately, before leaving today, I brought some extra things in case of emergency, and now it just happened to be used. Su Lin. Ah. No. Big brother. Please stay. A student called Su Lin. What's the matter? Are you still looking for trouble? No. The students shook their heads repeatedly. I really don't know how to thank you. Although the boxing gym can no longer be opened, I feel that we can live for a few more days. I don't know how to thank you for your kindness. Can you leave an address so that I can go there to express my gratitude when the director wakes up? Su Lin raised his eyebrows, and his thoughts quickly rolled. Soon, he made a decision. Sure, there's a farm in the suburbs. I'm there. Welcome. Su Lin still had some good feelings for Director Liu. Moreover, the current brilliant light can accommodate more people, so it must accept some useful people. Fists are the king in the end times. With a boxer like Liu, if he is fed and watered, the safety index will naturally rise. Although it may be impossible to resist those zombies with a human body, but it should be enough to deal with some cats and dogs who come to find trouble. Okay, thank you very much. No, take good care of Director Liu. I'm leaving first. Waving his sleeves, Su Lin left the boxing gym without taking a cloud. He left a failure legend for the people in the boxing gym. Although he lost, his opponent was in a coma. For a while, he didn't know who the winner was. Unheard of, unseen. After walking out of the boxing gym, Su Lin was in trouble. Now the only thing left is to collect the small cards. Looking at the registration hotline business card he had just taken from the front desk of the boxing gym in his hand, he couldn't help shaking his head. It wasn't this kind of card. Could it be a poker card? Or a UGIO? After pursing his lips, Su Lin decided to go to the stationery store to have a look. As long as there was a glimmer of hope, he didn't want to think about the possibility of that one. When he came to the avenue, all the doors and windows were closed. However, the iron gate and glass door of a store had been directly pried open and destroyed, and the inside was in a mess. The thugs have begun to destroy the existing order by any means. Su Lin shook his head, but soon began to appreciate such a riot. Stationery store? There's no point in opening it now. But by some strange coincidence, Su Lin encountered a stationery store that was also locked, but someone had smashed a big hole in it. You're crazy. Su Lin couldn't help complaining. What's there to steal in a stationery store? Looking up at the Friendship stationery store on the door, Su Lin scratched the back of his head. The store sign was so clear, he shouldn't be able to see it. I'm afraid he's starving. Forget it, let's go in and take a look. Su Lin carefully passed through the big opening of the glass door. Looking around, he found that, although the things inside were scattered, not much was thrown away. It seems that the thugs did not find what they wanted here: food, water, and weapons. Let me take a look. Su Lin searched for a while and found everything related to cards. Student cards, bus card holders, UGIO cards, etc. But once they are used, they are useless, or they have no effect at all. They are not the materials needed for plant synthesis. Okay, I understand. This system is a pervert. It must be thinking about that. I'll just accept it. After shrugging his shoulders, Su Lin put all the things in the stationery store that were useful to him and the farm into his school bag, such as pens, paper, knives, and rulers. Have you paid? Let the store owner appear in front of Su Lin first. After a small harvest, Su Lin raised his head and walked out arrogantly. On the way to the destination, he became more interested in the shops and businesses destroyed by the thugs. He kept an eye out for any necessities, which happened to be in the shops, that were smashed by the thugs. He was happy that he did not do evil and had corresponding benefits. But he did not gain much along the way, and the shops that were smashed were still few. Su Lin comforted himself, saying that he would arrive at the destination in a few days. A slightly shabby hotel full of the atmosphere of the market appeared in front of Su Lin. Although it was daytime, the surroundings were also quite deserted. But he could still smell the kind of restlessness that was unique to human nature, or sexual transactions. The last fight. Damn, this little card. It must be the hotel's little card. The old pervert system. Chapter 31. My sister's classmate, Lin Xiaoyan. Actually, Su Lin didn't even need to go into the hotel. There were many cards on the roadside outside the hotel. Many of them had pictures of enchanting, beautiful women printed on them. There were also various occupations and a red and green mobile phone number. Then he picked up a cleaner and newer card. Looking at the beauty on the card, Su Lin's face turned red. Her revealing clothes made her full of temptation. What Su Lin didn't expect was that the influence of the end of the world would affect this industry so quickly. Because it was clearly written on the card, no money, food and water. Su Lin was stunned. In a sense, he has a lot of girlfriends. I'm afraid he can support 3,000 beauties. Shaking his head, for some reason, Liang Crossing's face appeared in Su Lin's mind. At the same time, he was relieved. Since he picked up this little card, he knew that the material he needed was indeed this. As long as he collected the right materials, Su Lin would feel a wave of heat in his heart. Done. Let's go back. Before going back, of course, he had to drive his beloved motorcycle to pick up Liang Crossing. When he saw Liang Crossing's luggage, Su Lin was also in trouble. He muttered in his heart, women are troublesome. It's just a few clothes. Why do you have to pack so many bags? What did you say? Liang Crossing looked straight at Su Lin, blinking his eyes, as if there were thousands of emotions. No, no, no. Su Lin shook his head vigorously. Stinky straight man. Liang Crossing rolled his eyes. The two of them took a lot of effort to barely take all the luggage. The motorcycle took them back, thumping. At the edge of the city, Liang Crossing did not forget to look back at Chunfeng City. I don't know where the fire broke out, and a wisp of black smoke rose slowly. No. Several wisps of black smoke swayed and floated away. It seems that the thugs have taken action again. Liang Crossing took a deep breath and silently made up his mind. Soon, they returned to the vicinity of the farm, and when they were about to arrive, Su Lin even got a prompt from the system. Ding, someone is detected approaching. Please set it to the whitelist. Su Lin frowned, and at the same time, got the field of view permission. It was a lolly girl, and Su Yue just came out to greet her. Well, it should be Su Yue's classmate. Whitelist, whitelist. Ding, said successfully. Then, Su Lin came to the door, and walked in with Liang Crossing. Brother. Su Yue walked forward excitedly, pulling Su Lin's arm over. Hey, this is the classmate I was talking about, Lin Xiaoyan. Hello, I'm Lin Xiaoyan. Lin Xiaoyan nodded shyly. She is a lolly girl with two ponytails, and her blinking eyes are full of gratitude to Su Lin. Hello, classmate Xiaoyan. I'm Su Lin. This is Liang Crossing. You don't need to be too restrained. When you come here, just treat it as your own home. Su Yue should have told you the precautions. The so-called precautions are nothing more than knocking on the door at night and not opening it. Yeah, yes. Xiaoyan swallowed and nodded. A gurgling sound came, making her face blush. Sorry. Lin Xiaoyan lowered her head in shame, not daring to look directly at Su Lin. Ha ha ha. It doesn't matter, we are already here. Food and drink are provided. Just live well. You just arrived. The refrigerator is over there. Just pick out some food you like. Su Yue. Then, Su Lin looked at Su Yue. Rooms and so on. You arrange it. Okay, brother. Su Yue smiled, with joy written on his face. Ding, congratulations on someone moving in. Ding, currently, the radiance is 3/10, providing 100 sunlight points every 15 minutes. The total check-in of 3 people also stimulated the efficiency of the radiance again. Then, Su Yue excitedly pulled Lin Xiaoyan's hand and ran to the refrigerator. Su Lin directly took out the prepared materials from his backpack and prepared to start the fusion. What is this? Liang Crossing frowned and pointed at the small card on the table. Su Lin forgot that Liang Crossing was right next to him. Listen to my explanation. Su Lin's mouth twitched. How could he forget that Liang Crossing was right next to him? If he took out the small card directly, wouldn't that be courting death? I didn't expect you to have such a hobby. TSK. Liang Crossing shook his head. I picked it up on the road. You said the same thing yesterday. I think I can see clearly that you are just an old pervert. Liang Crossing clasped his hands together with a faint expression of disgust on his face. No, someone sent it to me and forced it in. Come on, you don't have to explain. I will let Su Yue and Xiaoyan be careful. Liang Crossing made a face, dragged the luggage, and ran away. Only Su Lin was left with a helpless look on his face. Damn, broken system. Su Lin was so angry that he could only curse the system silently to vent his anger. Ding, please pay attention. It's your fault, not my problem. Get lost. Damn it, you can still talk back this time. Su Lin rolled his eyes and started to fuse directly. Boxing gloves plus Chinese cabbage. Synthesized. Kwen. Ding, congratulations on collecting all the materials and unlocking Kwen. Ding, congratulations on unlocking Kwen. Gaining 50 experience points and 200 sunlight points. Kwen has great lethality and is quick to attack. It can cause huge damage in a short distance and is very suitable for attacking zombies with high health and small numbers. Like kiwi, it is a melee type plant. But in the same way, they are all plants that attack in a straight line and can only attack the same area. Plant, Kwen, description, quickly attack and strike close to the enemy. Sunlight. 150 damage. 15. Uppercut is 35. Attack interval. 0.3 seconds defense. 300 cooling time. 7.5 seconds attack range, about 1.5 grids in front and behind quality. Blue, a kung fu master from Guangdong, China, proficient in both Eastern and Western boxing. He is now practicing all over the world, learning new boxing techniques, or teaching some students. Speaking of students, perhaps a few are much more famous than he is. Su Lin was overjoyed to have obtained a powerful melee plant again. Then he took out the small card with a dark face. He had already made up his mind and planned to extract the next plant to be fused later. Otherwise, he would be so angry that he didn't know where to vent. Small card plus banana. Fusion boomerang shooter. Chapter 32. Chen Milin, the one who came to cause trouble. Ding, congratulations on collecting all the materials and unlocking the boomerang shooter. Ding, congratulations on unlocking the boomerang shooter and gaining 40 experience points and 150 sunlight points. Boomerang shooter. As the name suggests, it must be a long-range attack plant. It can cause damage twice to up to 3 targets in front of this area. After all, the boomerang will automatically return after being thrown. This kind of penetrating attack has many advantages. If used well, it can give priority to attacking some zombies hiding in the back, launch a banana boomerang, and cause 2 damages to the 13 targets on the left in front. Each attack sends out a plant, boomerang shooter, description, launch a banana boomerang, causing 2 damages to the 13 targets on the left in front. Each attack sends out a boomerang. Sunlight. 175 damage. 20x to attack interval. 2.9 seconds defense. 300 cooling time. 5 seconds quality. Green. After unlocking the boomerang shooter, Su Lin walked out of the room without hesitation and planted it first. Then there was an extraction. Ding, congratulations on getting the banana. Looking at the banana in his hand, Su Lin's anger subsided a lot. This is a yellow and tender banana. There is even a faint fragrance. Refreshing. Compared with the broken banana that Su Lin found in the suburban countryside in the morning, I don't know how much better it is. After sighing, Su Lin was about to take the banana out of the room. Who would have thought that 2 figures were walking in the distance? Su Lin squinted his eyes and confirmed the identities of the 2 people at once. It was his old classmate Chen Milin and her godfather husband. Su Lin squinted his eyes and walked forward swaggeringly. Hey, old classmate, why are you so kind to come to my place today? Su Lin smiled. He knew what was going on without thinking. The 2 people in front of him were so withered and thin, without any energy at all, not to mention their dry lips. They were so dry that they turned white and peeled. Su Lin, give me back my water. Chen Milin gritted her teeth and said, huh, didn't I sell it to you yesterday? What else do you want? When I turned around, my drinking water was snatched away by a stinky hooligan. Chen Milin joked. The beautiful makeup she used to have had long since disappeared, and there was only a weak and haggard look. It's none of my business. Su Lin rolled his eyes, but he also noticed the shame that flashed across Chen Milin's eyes. Su Lin's sixth sense told him that this matter might not be that simple. I'm afraid that in addition to robbing money, she also robbed her beauty. I didn't expect it. Su Lin glanced at the middle-aged man next to him, and in a trance, he also saw the green hat on his head. After not seeing him for a few days, this middle-aged man no longer had the arrogance and superiority he had before. He looked just like a defeated rooster covered in dirt. He even dared not look directly at Su Lin. "So what do you two want to do with me? Sell me some more water and food. I brought a lot," Chen Milin said viciously, "clothes to satisfy your bad taste. Psycho, I'm not sick. Do you think your original clothes are good?" Su Lin sneered. "Then you weren't yesterday. Yesterday is yesterday. Today is today. If you have nothing to do, please go back." Then. Chen Milin gritted her teeth, as if she had finally made a decision. "Then I can accompany you for one night, right, Chen Milin?" The middle-aged man next to her finally couldn't bear it anymore, and glared at Chen Milin. "Zhang Chengming. Shut up. You are a coward. You said you have a big family and a lot of wealth, but when the end of the world comes, everything is gone. You are so self-righteous that you don't need to prepare. I'm still hungry now, and I'm still paying back." Chen Milin panted violently, as if she had suffered a great injustice. Seeing this, Su Lin was even more convinced that his previous speculation was correct. I'm afraid that Chen Milin really encountered a bad thing. However, Zhang Chengming's behavior shocked Su Lin. He slapped her directly. She almost fell down. "Damn it. I raised you and treated you, and you treat me like this? Zhang Chengming, you hit me?" Chen Milin covered her face in shock. "Unbelievable. Well, who gave you the courage to hit me? I treat you badly? You buy whatever you want, and now you want to cheat on me? Then you should give me water to drink, and food to eat." Chen Milin at this time was like a shrew. "At noon, you said you would come to meet my classmates in the suburbs, but you were so hungry that you wanted to catch up. What about you now? You are useless." Seeing the quarrel in front of him, Su Lin couldn't help shaking his head. It was funny to think about it. When he saw these two people at that time, they were so arrogant, as if money had helped them settle everything. Now, they are quarreling, like drowned chickens and dogs. It feels like a long time since we last saw each other. You guys can quarrel slowly, I won't accompany you. After saying that, Su Lin turned around and prepared to go into the room. "Hey, wait, Su Lin." This time, Zhang Chengming became excited. "What? Tell me, name a price." "Su Lin, I'm willing to use all my assets, 3 Maceritis, 2 villas, to buy your 1 month, half a month, or even a week. If it doesn't work, give us some food and water." "Boss Zhang, wake up." Su Lin rolled his eyes full of contempt for him. In this world, cars, houses, and money are no longer useful. Besides, have you forgotten our meeting a few days ago? I did. The situation has reversed. At this moment, it was Su Lin who was looking down on others with an overbearing tone. His status has changed dramatically. "Next time we meet, please kneel down and beg me. Have you forgotten? Local boss." Zhang Kaiming listened. His mood was uncertain, and he was filled with endless anger and shame. "Su Lin. Ha. I have been in Chunfeng City for so long, and no one dared to say this to me. You are the first. It is really my honor. If there is nothing else, you should get out of here quickly. It's like this, but you still don't recognize the reality. You are so arrogant. Just go to bed." He shook his hands. He casually set the two people to the blacklist. Su Lin didn't want to pay attention to the two people and walked straight into the house. Zhang Xianming cursed even more. "Su Lin, you wait. Sooner or later I'll send someone to demolish your place." After that, Zhang Xianming turned his head and walked away in anger, not even intending to pay attention to Chen Milin. Chen Milin looked at the backs of the two men in despair. Alone, she felt a huge shadow looming over her. Su Lin. She knew that only by following Su Lin could she have a future. So she shamelessly took a step and tried to keep up with Su Lin. But, the moment she walked into the range, a burst of pew pew poo. The pea shooter fired crazily without mercy, making Chen Milin scream. Chapter 33. If you need anything, tell me. After a fierce blow, Chen Milin screamed. In a moment, her nose and eyes were swollen, and she became a pig-headed girl. "Damn it, what the hell is this?" Chen Milin cursed, without any ladylike demeanor. She wanted to break in again, but was beaten back by the peas again. "Damn it, Su Lin. Remember this. I lowered myself to beg you, and you deserve to take my stockings, you stinky loser. Chen Milin, who was cursing, could only show off her eloquence. After cursing for a long time, she walked away with a desperate step, as if she had fallen into hell. Her curses were not only heard by Su Lin. Liang Crossing leaned against the door window, blinking at Su Lin, who was lazily browsing the computer. Your friend? Classmate? Su Lin looked at Liang Crossing, his narrowed eyes flashing something. He was still quite worried about those saints. As the level of the brilliant light increases, it is inevitable that more people will be accommodated. With more people, there will be cats and dogs. Under the same roof, Su Lin still hopes that the people who can live in the small farm are people he can trust. However, Su Lin stretched and looked at Liang Crossing with a smile. He has already made up his mind. With the increase in the number of people staying, it is inevitable that there will be a few bad apples. It depends on whether it is this time. TSK. Liang Crossing smacked his lips. You said yesterday that the stockings were picked up on the roadside? I didn't expect that they belonged to an old classmate. Puff. Su Lin almost spit out a mouthful of blood. He was mentally prepared. Unexpectedly, Liang Crossing cared about this matter. That Su Lin, who was trembling with fear after being suddenly attacked by Liang Crossing, finally recovered. First of all, I'm not a pervert, really not a pervert. Su Lin said with a bitter face. It's just that there are some uses. You can tell me. Liang Crossing smiled mischievously. That smile was like teasing an innocent boy. It's just stockings. I have plenty. Do you like fishnet stockings, white stockings, or straight black stockings? Su Lin was stunned. Especially in Liang Crossing's seductive eyes that kept blinking. In a trance, he seemed to sink. HMPH. Liang Crossing snorted softly. I can tell at a glance, that woman is not a good person. She seemed to have changed her face. Her eyes were full of disgust for Chen Milin and heartache for Su Lin. You are also stupid. If you want stockings or something, you can tell us. There is no need to tell that crazy woman so that you will have a handle in her hand. I think she will come to make trouble every 2 or 3 days. You should be careful. Huh. Su Lin was stunned. I didn't expect Liang Crossing's true intention to be like this. Don't you pity her? As a woman, don't you plan to take her in? Su Lin directly exposed his thoughts. Huh. This time it was Liang Crossing's turn to be stunned. She looked at Su Lin with a surprised look. This is your place, so you have the final say. Besides, Liang Crossing shrugged. In this world, we can't even protect ourselves, so how can we be saints? Okay. Ha ha ha. Su Lin scratched the back of his head embarrassedly because he misunderstood Liang Crossing. I hope you have something in the future. Liang Crossing paused and said with a red face, if even stockings or underwear are fine. In short, please don't deal too much with those shady people outside, so as not to cause trouble every day. After saying that, Liang Crossing walked up to the second floor angrily, in a trance. I don't know whether Liang Crossing's face was red because he was angry or because he talked about such a shameful topic. And Su Lin stared at Liang Crossing's back blankly. The thin clothes set off her graceful figure vividly. After swallowing his saliva, Su Lin shook his head, calmed himself down, and began to prepare dinner tonight. Extract the potato mine, add some beef and mutton, and you'll have a fragrant stew of beef and mutton and potatoes. And the vegetable question, extract a plate of fried cabbage, frozen lettuce, make a dish of lettuce with oyster sauce. Add some boomerang shooter, banana, and milk, and the dessert is fried banana with milk. Of course, there is also a staple food, pea fried rice. It's time to eat. Su Lin yelled towards the second floor. Soon, the 3 beauties on the second floor came down one by one. Looking at the sumptuous dinner in front of them, they all stared. Wow, brother, whose birthday is it today? It's so sumptuous. Yes, yes. Su Yue's classmate, Lin Xiao's eyes lit up. Although he had a full meal when he came, he was really hungry for several days. Ha ha ha, just treat it as a welcome ceremony. Welcome Liang Crossing, and Lin Xiao to come. Su Lin laughed. Great, he wolfed it down. Everyone was burping with greasy faces. It was so comfortable. After eating and drinking, several people collapsed on the sofa in the living room, watching TV to kill time. And Su Lin had already prepared for the zombie attack tonight. When he went out, he saw the scene, the rows of plants. They were all ready for the battle. Who cares if it is a zero mode later? Even if it is completely zeroed, the sunlight points will be returned to Su Lin after the battle. No loss, no gain. Prepare first. He clapped his hands and looked at the heroic and high-spirited plants in front of him. Su Lin felt even more heroic in his heart. Back in the house, he drove the three beauties back to the room to sleep. Su Lin, who was fully prepared, browsed the computer while waiting for the arrival of the zombies. After a few days, the cables and optical fibers had been repaired. Except for the occasional freeze, it has no effect on use. The internet can be described as a wailing. Everyone gradually accepted such a fact, such a cruel fact, that they might die of starvation or thirst. In addition to the wailing in the wilderness, there was more despair, calls for riots, and gathering organizations. The town government, it has begun to show signs of collapse. Can we still rely on the town government? One by one, organizations appeared frequently and stationed under the banner of saving mankind. Su Lin was surprised to find that there were several such organizations in Chunfeng City. There were several of them that he didn't know about. There's nothing I can do. I was only concerned about my own survival before, so I didn't have the leisure to care about these. I don't know if these organized shelters will conflict with me. TSK. Just as Su Lin was thinking about what kind of relationship he would have with other organized shelters, a rapid and violent knock on the door came. Ding, the 6th level. Zombies are coming. Please be prepared. The number of zombies *30. A large wave of zombies is about to attack. Be careful of your head. It's about to be eaten. Ding, tonight is the reset mode. Please be prepared. Ding, please pay attention. The zombies in the next level will have a mysterious guest. Please improve your strength as soon as possible. Otherwise your head will be in trouble. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 34, Tombstone appears. You tell me. Su Lin rolled his eyes. The system had said it before. Every 7 levels, there will be some mysterious guests. I think it's probably the legendary boss. But Su Lin didn't have the time to care about these things. Let's find a way to survive tonight first. Ding. The densely packed plants in front of him were all cleared. Su Lin had to start over. With 75 sunlight points in hand, and ding, the accumulation of radiant light is complete, and 100 sunlight points are awarded. LV2 radiant light can accommodate 3 people at this time. 100 sunlight points can be obtained in 15 minutes. Delicious. 8 rows of land, 5 areas. Such a long vertical line is enough for Su Lin to arrange his troops well. Ding, please pay attention. New zombies are about to appear. Ding, explorer zombies, pharaoh zombies, Egyptian giant zombies. Ding, please note that tombstones will appear from time to time in the ground to block attacks. Su Lin swallowed his saliva. 3 powerful zombies appeared at once. But why should I be afraid? Just kill them. With 175 sunlight points, plant 3 sunflowers first. At this time, there are only 25 sunlight points left. But there is no need to be afraid. There is still some time before the first zombie appears. The next step is to wait for the sunflowers to produce. Well, you don't have to hide. Come out. Su Lin suddenly said. He felt that there was someone behind him, and he also guessed the other party's identity. I'm still very curious, so I came to join in the fun. It was Liang Crossing. After being exposed, she swaggered out. With Su Lin, he leaned against the window and looked at the situation outside. If you want to see, then see. Anyway, I will definitely protect you. It's okay, you do your thing. I'm just curious. Liang Crossing said with a blink of an eye. Su Lin nodded and focused on the plants. At this time, the first sunflower has produced 150 sunlight points. As expected of a second level sunflower, it immediately gave Su Lin sufficient combat capabilities. Then he directly planted the cabbage shooter in the second row of the area where the zombies appeared. This was naturally intentional, because this level has a feature. From time to time, tombstones will appear. The appearance of tombstones, to put it simply, is aimed at those plants that can only attack in a straight line. And zombies can also freely pass through tombstones and deal a heavier blow to the plants in the back row. If this tombstone appears in the first few rows, it will be too late when the zombies come slowly. Therefore, the role of plants that attack in a straight line, such as pea shooters or boomerang shooters, is not very prominent. Although the attack speed of the cabbage shooter is a big problem, it is a projectile after all, and can directly pass over the tombstone and attack the zombies behind the tombstone. Make good use of the characteristics of the plants. Only in this way can you defeat the powerful zombies. When the sunlight points were enough, Su Lin planted the pea shooters in the second row of area B. The two zombies in areas A and B were just ordinary zombies, just appetizers for Su Lin, and they were not a big problem. However, the weak experience of the two zombies allowed the farm to upgrade again. LV11. System. Plants vs. Zombies level. Farm LV11. Plants. Sunflower asterisk 3, pea shooter asterisk 1, cabbage shooter asterisk 1, right square bracket, sunshine points. 50, temporary, planting land. 40 defense value. 300 over 300, experience value. 3 over 700, ability, extraction, gold coin upgrade, already unlocked plants, sunflower, pea shooter, vertical fruit, potato mine, cabbage shooter, frozen lettuce, torch stump, charm mushroom, kiwi, boomerang shooter, vegetable question, unlocked blueprints, none, gold coins. 180, plant advanced, pea shooter, second level, cabbage shooter, second level, sunflower, second level, kiwi, second level, nuts, second level, frozen lettuce, second level, brilliant light, LV2TSK. Su Lin rolled his eyes. After upgrading again, there was no substantial reward. Su Lin was looking forward to it in vain. Finally, Su Lin quickly focused all his attention on the zombies attack. The first round of zombies was just an appetizer. In the second round of zombies, there were already roadblock zombies and iron barrel zombies. But after a period of production, the sunlight points were no longer stretched. Su Lin planted enough long-range attack plants according to the 5 areas attacked by the zombies. He even planted K-Wen in the 7th row of area C and the 8th row, of course, was nuts with strong defensive capabilities. The 8th row of area D was also nuts. It's just that there are no sunlight points to plant kiwis in the 7th row. When the iron zombie, with heavy steps, appeared in area C with a ding ding sound on its head and was blocked by nuts, K-Wen aimed at the opportunity and punched directly. The sound of breaking through the air rippled on the farm, making the iron zombie's head buzz. But this couldn't stop the iron zombie's attack, although it was blocked by nuts. But the iron zombie also stretched out its sharp claws and gnawed at the annoying obstacles in front of it. However, the iron zombie had to face more than just K-Wen's fists. There was also the combination move of the pea shooter and the torch tree stump, flame pea in the back row. Just as Su Lin focused his attention on the iron zombie in front of him, the ground shook violently. Su Lin, who was on high alert, found that a black tombstone had broken out of the ground in the 4th row of area E. Plant. Cabbage shooter. The cabbage shooter was quickly arranged in the 3rd row of area E. What a joke. At this time, 2 roadblock zombies appeared on the edge of area E. If only the pea shooter in the 2nd row was relied on, it might not be able to penetrate the tombstone, and the roadblock zombie would kill all the way to the 4th row. The cabbage shooter lived up to expectations. The moment he planted, he began his busy work. He threw out cabbages one by one. It passed the tombstone and smashed directly at the roadblock zombie behind the tombstone. It shouldn't be enough. Su Lin pursed his lips and carefully calculated the speed of the roadblock zombie. He speculated whether he needed to use the energy beans to launch the ultimate move. But now there are only 2 energy beans. After using them, I don't know if I can replenish them. There will be new zombies appearing later. I'd better save the ultimate move. After making up his mind, Su Lin could only cheer for the cabbage, while properly arranging various plants according to the zombies that attacked. Ding, a large wave of zombies is coming. Please be prepared. The first to appear was the pyramid zombie, whose defense ability was much stronger than the iron zombie. Chapter 35 Ola Ola Ola. Blocking the way ahead were the nuts in Area D. Hey, luckily we came to Area D. Su Lin grinned. Area D could be said to be the strongest lineup of plants at this time. The first row was sunflowers. The second and third rows were pea shooters and torch stumps. The fourth row was the boomerang shooter. The fifth and sixth rows were temporarily empty, but the seventh row was planted with kiwis. Even the pyramid zombies lost their temper when they saw the nuts and had to stretch out their sharp claws to try to deal with the nuts in front of them. Kiwis took the opportunity and threw out the golden hoop. The golden hoop, which kept spinning in the air, hit the pyramid on the top of the zombie's head with a crackling sound. The existence of nuts blocked the pyramid zombie's way forward. Behind it was a flag zombie and a roadblock zombie. At this time, the importance of the boomerang shooter appeared. It twisted its body directly and then shook its head hard, throwing the boomerang on its head out. The boomerang shot forward with a whirring sound. After hitting the pyramid zombie in the front, it would not disappear or bounce away, but would continue to move forward. After attacking the second flag zombie and the third roadblock zombie in succession, the boomerang turned around and attacked the three zombies again. Finally, it returned to the head of the boomerang shooter. This is exactly the attack method of the boomerang shooter. It can attack up to 3 zombies, and it attacks back and forth twice. If it weren't for the low attack power, it would be enough to make these zombies go home and reincarnate on the spot. Just as the battle in front of us was moving towards victory, a new type of zombie descended. Walking in front was an explorer zombie holding a torch. Holding a torch. It means that plants can be burned directly. Area D. Su Lin immediately planted frozen lettuce on the 6th row, because the ice attack can directly extinguish the torch. Just as the explorer zombie was getting dressed up and preparing for his debut with a triumphant step, the frozen lettuce attacked the dying nut, just as the torch was about to burn to its last breath. A blue-white sphere of ice and snow smashed directly at the torch in the explorer zombie's hand. With a bang, the flame went out. The explorer zombie was stunned and stared blankly at the bare torch in his hand. For a moment, he didn't know where he was or what he was doing. He even stupidly took the extinguished torch and poked the nut in front of him. There was no damage at all. As a last resort, he stretched out his claws and tried to attack the nut. But the plants in Area D had already launched a counterattack. The unlucky explorer zombie was quickly dealt with, but there were several explorer zombies in other areas. The frozen lettuce was still in the cooling time. There was no way to remedy it in time. Su Lin could only watch as the other explorer zombies burned the plants in front of them. Fortunately, the plants in the back row were powerful enough to quickly deal with them before the explorer zombies could cause more damage. Ding, the last wave of zombies is coming. Please be prepared. In the dark night, a zombie reflecting golden light came slowly with heavy steps. Su Lin swallowed his saliva and felt that his eyes were almost blinded. Pharaoh zombie. He was wearing a solid golden sarcophagus. Only his limbs were exposed, and he attacked while walking. He had to find a way to break the golden sarcophagus before he could attack the zombies inside. It can be said that he first removed its golden tortoise shell and then destroyed its flesh. Along with the pharaoh zombie, there was also a tremor of the ground. Boom, boom, boom. A huge figure appeared in front of him, half the height of the house, more than 2 meters tall giant zombie. Egyptian giant zombie. Holding the pharaoh sarcophagus, he can use it to smash the plants. And when the HP is less than half, a little ghost mummy will be thrown out in front. But if you die in advance before the general path, the little ghost will not be thrown out. Strong defense ability, as well as terrifying attack ability, plus the derived little ghost. Obviously, the Egyptian giant zombie is the king of zombies. In front of such a huge figure, Su Lin felt trembling. There were bursts of cracks on the ground. On the blank ground, many tombstones appeared. The appearance of tombstones greatly reduced the efficiency of the plant's attacks. Su Lin took a deep breath, waved his big hand, and launched the energy beam move without hesitation. If not now, when? The first big move. Cabbage thrower. Puff puff puff. In addition to crossing the tombstone, it also smashed all the zombies in front of it. The second energy beam big move was used on Kwen. K1 happened to be in the middle and front position, and there were zombies invading the upper and lower areas. It was a good time to launch K1's big move. With a cry of Ada, "Ala ala ala," K1 quickly spun around himself, punching like crazy. Papapa. 3x3 area. The zombies were beaten black and blue. In addition, countless cabbages were thrown out. Many zombies have already fallen to the ground and can't get up again. Just when they thought they had finally survived this round of attacks and could get carried away, ding made a sound. Frozen lettuce. Freeze the whole screen for 22 seconds. All zombies were frozen and had to be beaten stupidly on the spot. The rest of the plants cherished this opportunity very much. They all took out their best skills and beat them up. Only the last huge back was left. Egyptian giant zombie. After being released from the frozen state, it roared angrily. It seemed to be complaining. "What's going on? Question mark. I was beaten up like this on my first appearance. Question mark. Is this interesting? Question mark." In anger, it raised the golden sarcophagus of the pharaoh in its hand and smashed it hard at the kiwi fruit in front of it. After the kiwi fruit was smashed, it screamed miserably and burst out juice that splashed everywhere. After the hit was successful, the Egyptian giant zombie roared proudly and smashed it again. Smashed the boomerang shooter in front of him into minced meat. The plants in the back row watched their companions in the front row die one by one. As if they felt the same pain, they kept draining their attack potential. Its health plummeted all the way. The Egyptian giant zombie, who could no longer bear it, pulled out a mummy zombie imp from its back. Throwing it hard, it tried to make a final counterattack. However, the situation was over, and there were a few puffs. The Egyptian giant zombie fell first. The imp even gave up his first show in the counterattack of the boomerang. Ding. Congratulations on repelling the 6th round of zombies. Ding. Congratulations on getting 300 experience points. Ding. Congratulations on getting 2500 sunshine points. Ding. Congratulations on getting 150 gold coins. Ding. Congratulations on upgrading the small farm to LV12. Ding. Congratulations on unlocking the energy flower and fire dragon grass. Chapter 36. Fully armed rogues. Is this successful? Liang Crossing, who was standing on the side, had already held her breath and concentrated, extremely nervous. Whether it was the attack of the zombies just now, or the appearance of the Egyptian giant zombie, they all brought a huge shock to her heart. If she hadn't been afraid of disturbing Su Lin, Liang Crossing would have screamed out of fear. Finally, after seeing all the zombies disappear, and several treasure chests burst out, she asked tremblingly, "Yeah?" Su Lin nodded, and at the same time, glanced at Liang Crossing. He couldn't help but complain in his heart. "That's it? Last time when it was the most dangerous, I almost died. I was scared to death." Liang Crossing swallowed heavily. "It's okay. There are plants to protect us. You go and rest. I'll go to clean up outside." "Yeah." Liang Crossing nodded. The curiosity in her eyes at the beginning was gone, leaving only an incomparable awe. Then, Su Lin walked out of the door and came to the treasure chest. This time there were 2 treasure chests. Every time the box opening session was extremely exciting. At the same time, he was praying in his heart. "Another tactical cucumber please. Tomorrow night will be the 7th level, where powerful creatures will descend. If there is a tactical cucumber, we will be more confident." The first treasure chest is opened. Ding. Congratulations on getting 400 experience points. Ding. Congratulations on upgrading. Okay, the second one. Continue. Open. Ding. Congratulations on getting 4000 gold coins. Yeah, Su Lin pursed his lips. Although there is no tactical cucumber, but with so many gold coins, the class of the plant can be upgraded. The higher the class of the plant, the stronger its strength. System. Plants vs. Zombies level. Farm LV13. Plants. Sunshine points. 80-50. Planting land. 40 defense value. 300 over 300. Experience value. 105 over 800. Ability. Extraction. Gold coin upgrade. Unlocked plants. Sunflower. Pea shooter. Nuts. Potato mine. Cabbage shooter. Frozen lettuce. Torch stump. Charm mushroom. kiwi, boomerang shooter, vegetable question, unlocked blueprints, energy flower, fire dragon grass gold. Coins. 4500, plant advancement, pea shooter, second level, cabbage shooter, second level, sunflower, second level, kiwi, second level, nuts, second level, frozen lettuce, second level, brilliant light. LV2, after planting some sunflowers, to continue to produce sunlight points, and the pea shooter was watching over the door, Su Lin directly activated the gold coin upgrade. The excess sunlight points were converted into gold coins. Try your best to advance. Click on the attribute interface. Su Lin carefully studied the plants he currently had, and how to advance them. The gold coins required to advance from the second level to the third level are twice that of the first level to the second level. Is it better to have one third level plant, or two second level plants? Soon, Su Lin made a decision. Advance. Pea shooter, third level, and cabbage shooter, third level. Ding. Congratulations on the successful advancement. Pea shooter, third level, get quick loading. Quick loading increases the effect of its second level ability P burst by 100%. Whether it is its trigger probability, or attack ability, or the number of Ps, it has made a qualitative leap. Ding. Congratulations on the successful advancement. Cabbage shooter, third level, get speed enhancement. Speed enhancement. It can increase the effect of the cabbage shooter's second level ability Shadowless Hand by 100%. Originally, Shadowless Hand increased the attack speed by 25%. In this way, it increased the attack speed by 50%. In this way, no one will laugh at the cabbage shooter. 1. Snap. A cabbage is thrown away. The speed is beyond imagination. The last chance to advance. Su Lin gave it to K-Wen. Ding. Congratulations on the successful advancement, K-Wen. Second level. Get uppercut. In addition to the 50% increase in attack and defense attributes, there is also an additional uppercut skill. Every time K-Wen attacks 15 times, he can trigger an uppercut. Oh my. An uppercut can not only temporarily knock the zombie away and make it retreat half a square, but also cause huge damage to it. Since then, Su Lin's gold coin vault has been drained. Not a single drop is left. The gold coins consumed to upgrade the second level plants to the third level are too much. However, the power it brings is much better than that of ordinary second level plants. It's done, and the next step is to wait for tomorrow. Regarding the so-called 7th level of tomorrow's powerful creatures, Su Lin was a little worried, but more of it was looking forward to it. Damn it. System. Plants vs. Zombies level. Farm LV12. Plants. Sunflower asterisk 5, pea shooter asterisk 5, right square bracket, sunshine points. 100, planted land. 40 defense value. 300 over 300, experience value. 105 over 800, ability, extraction, gold coin upgrade, unlocked plants, sunflower, pea shooter, vertical fruit, potato bud, cabbage shooter, frozen lettuce, torch stump, charm mushroom, kiwi, boomerang shooter, vegetable question, unlocked blueprints, energy flower, fire dragon grass gold. Coins. 100, plant advanced, pea shooter, level 3, cabbage shooter, level 3, sunflower, level 2, kiwi, level 2, nuts, level 2, frozen lettuce, level 2, vegetable question, level 2, dazzling light, LV2, he stretched and looked at the dark patches on the sky. Su Lin walked back into the house, planning to rest early, so that he could go out and collect plant materials tomorrow. He was determined to get the energy flower this time. Although the energy flower was a disposable plant, it had the ability to turn the tide of battle. After being planted successfully, the energy flower could produce an energy bean. The previous way to obtain energy beans was to defeat the zombies with green light. This was uncontrollable. Who knows if the zombies with green light will appear, and when they will appear. Energy flowers can be planted directly at the critical moment, directly obtain energy beans, and then launch a big move. After a night of sound sleep, Su Lin, who was still in a sweet dream, was shaken by a series of system prompts. Damn, who is it? Su Lin ran downstairs cursing. Because the system was constantly prompting whether to set someone to the blacklist. I'm afraid someone really came to make trouble. He pushed the door open. Sure enough, there were people. A bunch of people. You guys? What are you doing here? Looking at the group of people in front of him who were fully armed, wearing all kinds of pots and pans as protection, and holding sticks, baseball bats, and machetes as weapons. Su Lin had a bad feeling that things were not going well. After all, the one standing in front of the team was Zhang Xianhu, who came to make trouble a few days ago, and Zhang Xianming yesterday. Looking at the two people in front of him, Su Lin opened his mouth wide with a look of disbelief. He stretched out his hand tremblingly and pointed at Zhang Xianhu. But Zhang Xianhu interrupted Su Lin directly and said viciously, Su Lin, you finally came out. How about now I'll let you know how to write the word death. You brought so many people here today. Watch me directly raise you to the ground. I heard that my dad came to your place yesterday and was turned away. Chapter 37 Bloody Plot. Let's settle old scores and new grudges together. Su Lin twitched his mouth and shuddered. What the hell? He didn't notice it yesterday. Now the so-called father and son appeared in front of him. He felt this way. That is, his college classmate Zhang Xian, who is too similar to the domineering upstart Zhang Xianming. It turns out that they are really father and son. On the one hand, Su Lin sighed, like father, like son, and sure enough, the babies born by mice will go to dig holes. On the other hand, he also felt extremely bloody. Chen Milin, he and Zhang Xian, who are all classmates. In Su Lin's impression, Chen Milin and Zhang Xian, who had been together for a while. In the blink of an eye, Chen Milin became Zhang Xianming's woman. Question mark? This classmate became his mother in the blink of an eye. Question mark? Or is Chen Milin just Zhang Xianhu's mistress? TSK. Thinking of such a bloody plot, Su Lin got goosebumps all over his body. Su Lin scratched his head and looked at Zhang Xianhu with a pitiful look. Is your mother still alive? Huh? Zhang Xianhu was stunned. What the hell do you mean? No. Su Lin shook his head and looked at Zhang Xianming. That shameless. No, it's uncle. Hello, I'm Zhang Xianhu's classmate. You know it, right? Zhang Xianming frowned, a little puzzled, not understanding what Su Lin was asking, shook his head, and said, I don't know. Then you know that Chen Milin is my classmate, right? Why are you talking about that stinky cousin? You know it. Hearing the ex-girlfriend Chen Milin, Zhang Xianhu was stunned. For a moment, he didn't know why Su Lin suddenly mentioned this woman. That's very embarrassing. We and Zhang Xianhu are college classmates. That is, the stepmother you found for Zhang Xianhu is not only his classmate, but also his ex-girlfriend. After this, the father and son stared at each other in amazement. Their trembling pupils were filled with disbelief and extreme melodrama. When they thought of the father and son using the same woman, they immediately turned their heads away and kept retching. They almost vomited out the wild vegetables they had eaten in the morning. Damn it, Dad. You have a woman outside? What's wrong with that? I'm tired of your mother's yellow-faced woman. Damn. Zhang Xianhu gritted his teeth. Or he found my ex-girlfriend. Who knows? I don't even know her past. Zhang Xianming shuddered and felt sick. Forget it. Zhang Xianhu shook his head. He also knew that, if it weren't for his father, he would be nothing. What's more, Zhang Xianming had found a mistress more than once or twice. It's just that this time it was his ex-girlfriend. It's disgusting enough. Hey, Su Lin. Zhang Xianhu looked at Su Lin. Now I'll give you two choices. The first is to get out of here, and the second is to hand over all the supplies. Otherwise, Zhang Xianhu smashed the baseball bat in his hand heavily. He also fiddled with the simple armor made of pots and pans. It made a clanking sound. Looking around, there were about a dozen thugs brought by Zhang Xianhu. Each of them was fully armed. Obviously, they were here to guard against the attack of the pea shooter. Su Lin shrugged and made a delicate and pitiful look. I'm so scared. What should I do? But I choose the third way, which is to drive you all out. Su Lin snapped his fingers and planted plants in the 5 areas of the 8th row. K1, kiwi, pea shooter, potato mine, boomerang shooter. The next step is to wait for them to come over and enter the attack range. So many lifelike plants suddenly appeared. Everyone was shocked. They rubbed their eyes hard, thinking they were dreaming. What's going on? Why are there so many plants suddenly appearing? Strange, when I came here yesterday, these plants were not there. How come they suddenly appeared? Is it some kind of magic? Or some kind of technology? It's impossible. This Su Lin must be crazy. Even if he can grow so many plants directly, the soil is now polluted, and they can't be eaten after being grown. Everyone. Zhang Xianhu swallowed his saliva. He was very familiar with the pea shooter in front of him. The last time he came here, he was shot crazily by the pea shooter and was beaten to a pulp. He ran away like a drowned dog. So the group of people he brought with him were fully prepared. Now, in addition to the pea shooter, there are also some plants that he doesn't know what they are. It's better to be cautious. Be sure to be careful. The last time I came here, I was madly suppressed by that plant. I don't know what method Su Lin used to control the plants to attack us. Don't take off your protective equipment. Go ahead and take back our supplies. Zhang Xianhu waved his arm. The thugs behind him took a step forward and rushed forward without hesitation. TSK. Su Lin shook his head and looked at the people who came to die. When these thugs entered the attack range of the pea shooter and the boomerang shooter, the two long-range plants reacted immediately and entered the combat mode directly. What they are facing now are not zombies at night. They are just ordinary humans. Therefore, there is no restriction that they can attack in the same area. The pea shooter twisted his head and aimed at the thug in the center. With a puff, a pea shot out. The thug couldn't dodge, and his head was directly shot in the head. After a pang, the thug shook his head. Fortunately, he listened to Zhang Xianhu's arrangement and wore an iron pot. Otherwise, this headshot might have caused him a concussion. However, the iron pot rumbled and almost made the thug lose his mind. Just when he thought it was over, the boomerang called over. With a ding, they all flattened the iron plate that the thugs had on their waists. If they were hit one or two more times, they would be dead. When the thugs paid the price of being unable to breathe in pain and came to the front row, they also entered the attack range of the melee plants. Kiwi threw out the golden hoop directly and started to beat him. Then K1 swung his huge fist made of vegetable leaves and hit him with an uppercut, directly sending him flying. The thugs fell to the ground, foaming at the mouth, and fell into a coma. The others were stunned. So fierce, they couldn't even get a little closer and swing their weapons to attack, but they were repelled. Moreover, are these plants spirits? They are so vivid and their means of attack are so rich. Oh, what's wrong? You don't dare to come up. Su Lin stood behind the plants and smiled. If you don't come, I will go back to have breakfast. Damn, you come to disturb people so early in the morning. Are you crazy? Chapter 38. The thugs who came to the door. Su Lin complained as he turned around, walked into the room, and prepared breakfast. Anyway, everyone outside the door has been blacklisted. If they dare to come, they will be beaten up. He heated up the leftovers from last night and made some fried rice. After taking out a bottle of milk from the refrigerator, Su Lin walked out with a swagger. While eating the delicious fried rice and drinking milk, he looked at the widespread suffering in front of him. No matter how hard the thugs tried, they couldn't get close to the plants. First, they had to endure the baptism of peas and boomerangs. Just this alone was enough to make them cry and curse. After getting close, before they could swing the machete or the iron baseball bat in their hands, they were beaten up by K1 or Kiwi. The most unlucky thug among them, although he had gone through many difficulties, took the wrong road and stepped on the potato mine. With a boom, the thug was blown away. Life or death is unknown. No more. Seeing that there was space in the 8th row, which was the front row, Su Lin casually planted some more vegetables. And he planted potato mines in the entire area of the 7th row. Even if they broke through the first line of defense, what awaited Zhang Xianhu and his men was only boom boom boom. However, what made the group feel the most desperate was the fragrance floating in the air. At this time, Su Lin was feasting on his food. He was eating so deliciously, which made everyone envious. Not only was he beaten, but he also had to endure the torture of hunger. Damn it. Su Lin, don't be so arrogant. Zhang Xianhu swallowed his saliva. At this time, his stomach was growling wildly, As a commander, he was very smart to stand in the back row and did not move forward. All he could do was shout, "Go, go. Break through the barrier in front of you, and you'll have a good meal." Su Lin burped and stood up slowly. "Yo, I'm full, and you haven't run away yet? Ding, congratulations on defeating 10 invaders." Huh. Su Lin raised his eyebrows. "Is there any reward? Question mark. Ding, unlock gold beans." Gold beans? Ding, gold beans, the same as energy beans, but can only be used during the day. The price is 100 gold coins per piece, and can be used up to 3 times a day. Oh, Su Lin nodded. He soon understood what it meant. After all, energy beans can only be obtained by defeating zombies with green light, and after the battle, they will all be cleared. It can't be used during the day. The appearance of gold beans allows plants to use their ultimate moves in broad daylight. It's fun. Su Lin grinned. He glanced out of the corner of his eye and saw that there was still some money. As luck would have it, there were only 100 gold coins left. Even if the wallet was empty and the money was tight, I had to give a big gift. Purchase 100 gold coins in exchange for a golden bean, used directly on the pea shooter. What Su Lin didn't expect was that this time the ultimate move even strengthened the attack range. It was like a machine gun. The pea shooter was firing. He kept twisting his head, trying to accurately shoot each pea at each opponent. With a burst of crackling, all the thugs were defeated. 1 or 2 peas were okay. Who could bear this overwhelming pea attack? The fleeing thugs had no choice but to retreat and hide behind the big trees. They were just like pitiful children, trembling. "Su Lin, come out and fight me if you dare." "Okay." Su Lin nodded with a smile and walked forward. Zhang Xian, who was stunned. He didn't expect that Su Lin would actually dare to walk out from the protection of the plants. A frontal attack wouldn't work. He had already asked people to look around to see if there was anything that could be broken through. Even a wooden railing would be fine. "But I'm sorry, there is only this one entrance in the entire farm. The rest of the place is protected by dense trees or barbed wire. The only place that can be attacked is here in front." For Zhang Xianhu, Su Lin only needs to stay in there like a turtle, relying on the protection of the plants. He can sleep soundly. But now he dares to walk out. Question mark? There's a trick. There must be a trick. Seeing that Su Lin was about to walk out through the front row of plants, Zhang Xianhu retreated instead. "Wait." Zhang Xianhu waved his hand. "Okay, Su Lin, you wait. There are not enough people this time." "No, there will be a next time. Let's go." Zhang Xianhu waved his hand and dragged his father Zhang Xianming, who looked unwilling, to leave. As a son, he was still persuading him. "Dad, it's okay. These thugs can't be relied on. But, don't you know a minister? When the time comes, we can borrow a few tanks and armored vehicles and rush in directly." Hearing this, Zhang Xianming nodded. While rubbing the bruises on his body caused by the pea, he said viciously, "Yes, at worst, we can tell the town government and let the town government suppress it. Damn it, I don't believe that I can't deal with this young kid." Yeah. Zhang Xianhu nodded. Zhang Xianhu's withdrawal made Su Lin dumbfounded. That's it? He himself hasn't had enough fun. Su Lin subconsciously touched the pistol on his waist. Just now, he agreed to Zhang Xianhu's request for a duel. Wasn't it because he had this pistol in his hand? A duel? Only a fool would go for a duel. He just wanted to use this pistol to teach Zhang Xianhu a lesson. Let him know how to write the word death. Seeing a group of drowned dogs leaving, just when Su Lin felt bored and a little disappointed, a group of people he didn't expect came in front of him. Wasn't it the director Liu from the boxing gym yesterday? Together with him, there were 2 young men, who were the students he met in the boxing gym yesterday. The few boxers ran into Zhang Xianhu and his group who were fleeing in despair. "Hey, don't block the way." Zhang Xianhu glared at Director Liu who appeared in front of him. Our Director Liu twitched his mouth. He just wanted to thank Su Lin for saving his life yesterday. He came here according to the information given by the students. Unexpectedly, he encountered such a bad situation. However, Director Liu still said calmly, "Hello, I'm here to see Su Lin. Does he live nearby?" "Su Lin?" Zhang Xianhu glared at Director Liu fiercely. This is not a question that should be brought up. Director Liu. Su Lin waved his hand, walked through the plants, and walked forward. I'm here. Su Lin. Director Liu raised his eyebrows, his face full of joy. Yes, Director Liu, welcome to your arrival, and at the same time I would like to invite you to join me. But, Su Lin grinned, there is a prerequisite. You have to teach the thugs in front of you a lesson first. Chapter 39. It's better to obey than to be respectful. It's not just Zhang Xian who. Director Liu himself was stunned. I won't say more. Anyway, join me, you won't have to worry about food and drink, and you'll be happy. What do you think? Su Lin blinked. He had intended to invite Director Liu to live in the farm. As a boxer, he has a certain level of martial arts, and can at least provide some protection. What's more, Director Liu gave Su Lin a good first impression. What does this mean? Director Liu, who had just arrived, was a little puzzled, but he also showed an honest smile. I don't know whether to join or not. But after all, you saved my life, and I still understand the principle of repaying a drop of water with a spring of water. I'm sorry, everyone. After saying that, Director Liu took a deep breath, and his aura changed. He took a standard boxing posture, and aimed at Zhang Xianhu and the others. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Zhang Xianhu was stunned. Even a fool would know that the situation has changed. But why is it like this? Question mark? Damn it. Su Lin, you kid, I gave you money to buy supplies, but you refused to give it to this silly middle-aged man. Question mark? Zhang Xianming shook off Zhang Xianhu's supporting hand. He was about to punch Su Lin. Sorry. How could Zhang Xianming hit Su Lin? Director Liu on the side quickly punched Zhang Xianming and knocked him unconscious. Although I don't know who you are, you want to bully my benefactor? No way. Hey, how dare you hit me? Zhang Xianhu glared at Director Liu. Come on. The thugs who had been screaming in pain on the side were all spirited when they saw that the enemy was finally no longer a strange plant. It was just an ordinary person. The thugs showed a smug smile and swung the sticks in their hands. But the next moment, they understood that the middle-aged man in front of them was not something that these hooligans could deal with. Director Liu, who was in full force, knew that they were a group of hooligans. He couldn't let them off, so he had to go all out. With a few slaps, 3, 5, and 6 jabs, plus a few sweeping kicks, he knocked down a large group of people. Seeing Director Liu was so fierce, and the injuries on his body had not yet fully healed, after being severely taught a lesson by the plants, the other thugs began to back off. Zhang Xianhu was even more exaggerated, and he huddled behind his father, trembling. Well, how about we talk about it? Zhang Xianming knew he was afraid. The man in front of him was ruthless and precise. Judging from his posture, it would take at least 10 or 8 years to practice. What is there to talk about? I'm Zhang Xianming. I'll hire you. Can you help me deal with Su Lin? Cars, houses, any amount of money is fine. Just help me beat Su Lin, and we'll share the supplies in his house. Zhang Xianming narrowed his eyes and said, having been in the business world for decades, he knew that there was no friendship at all, only interests. As long as the interests were enough, all the illusions of friendship could be shattered. Su Lin on the side raised his eyebrows. He was also very interested in what choice Director Liu would make. At this time, Director Liu didn't know what good things were in the farm. In the face of interests, what choice would he make? However, to Zhang Xianming's surprise, Director Liu just snorted coldly, exhaled heavily, and made a boxing gesture to Zhang Xianming. Everything was self-evident. Get lost. A simple word was enough to scare everyone away. However, the two young students behind Director Liu were obviously stunned when they heard the chips offered by Zhang Xianming. They opened their mouths, but finally fell silent. Director Liu said get lost. What can they do? Looking at the backs of Zhang Xianhu and the others fleeing, Su Lin waved his hand and shouted, goodbye, don't come again. Then he looked at Director Liu. Hello, Director Liu, can you please introduce yourself again? I'm Su Lin. Hello, Su Lin, thank you for saving my life yesterday. Director Liu scratched his head. The two behind me are my students who are still willing to follow me, Zhao Wang and Zhao Hang. At this time, Director Liu no longer had the domineering and sharp look just now. He looked quite honest. Why are you saying this? I have to thank you. It seems that you really let me off in the competition yesterday. It's different in nature. It was just a competition on the ring. However, this time, the boxing gym is completely closed. Director Liu was a little melancholy, but he quickly gathered his spirits and said, of course, there is nothing we can do about it. Now, survival is the top priority. I don't have anything good to express my gratitude. This is. Director Liu motioned the student behind him to come forward and took out a gold belt from his hand. This is the gold belt I won in the previous competition. If you don't mind, you can keep it as a souvenir. No, you should keep it. Well, I don't know how to express my gratitude to you. If it weren't for you, I'm afraid I would have starved to death. It's okay if I really want to express it. Su Lin licked his lips. Through the performance just now, he has been convinced that Director Liu in front of him is a trustworthy person. Then stay and protect us. At the same time, I also invite you to join my farm. Director Liu was a little confused. Yeah, that's what I just said. Turning away, Su Lin showed the plants behind him and the big house. The LV12 farm has changed in appearance. There are 3 floors. While the area has expanded, the appearance is no longer shabby. The windows and doors have been reinforced. There is even a layer of barbed wire on the outside. Looking at the villa fort in front of him, Director Liu was stunned. It has only been a short time, and there is such an advanced, or perfect fortress building. But it's useless to plant so many plants. The soil is polluted. Forget it. Director Liu waved his hand. I think you don't have much supplies. I won't trouble you. Let's go. Director Liu. Su Lin made an invitation gesture. It just so happens that we can have breakfast together. The plants I plant here are magical and will not be polluted by the soil. Let's go. Don't talk too much, or come in and see if you are satisfied. If you are satisfied, you can stay. It just so happens that you have this skill, and there are a few girls in the room, and you can protect them more. Su Lin walked forward. The 2 students, Zhao Wang and Zhao Hong, looked at Director Liu eagerly. Hearing that they would have enough food and drink, and would be extremely safe, the 2 young men were already very excited. The next step was to see the director. Then we'd better obey your command. After saying that, Director Liu led the 2 students in. Chapter 40 New Residents. With a snap of his fingers, Su Lin also put 3 people on the whitelist. Seeing the 3 people safely pass through the front row of plants, Zhang Xianhu, who was hiding beside a big tree not far away, was stunned. What the hell is this? When his group of people get close to a certain distance, they are attacked crazily by the plants. As the owner, Su Lin can understand that everything is fine. But what about Director Liu and the others? Zhang Xianhu, who was confused, only understood one thing at least. That is, Su Lin definitely has a way to prevent the plants from attacking. Humph, this Su Lin, is he really so unwelcoming to us? 30 years in the east, 30 years in the west. Don't bully the young and poor. You wait for me. The next time, it will be an armored vehicle and a tank. These words of 30 years in the east and west came out of Zhang Xianhu's mouth. It was really a bit ridiculous. After spitting, Zhang Xianhu left viciously. When Director Liu and his companions walked into the house, they were all stunned. Not only for the warm atmosphere in the house, but also for the sumptuous breakfast in front of them. And the 3 beauties in front of them. Liang Crossing, Su Yue and Lin Xiaoan had already woken up and came to the lobby on the 1st floor early. Although they didn't know what was going on outside, they felt relieved when they saw Su Lin outside through the window. So they took out food from the refrigerator and prepared breakfast. Come, let me introduce you. Su Lin was stunned when he saw the 3 beauties had already gotten up. After reacting, he immediately introduced them to both parties. After the introduction, both parties nodded to each other. If nothing else, Director Liu must not have eaten yet, right? Su Lin smiled. What he said was no different from nonsense. Director Liu was direct. After nodding and dealing with the three beauties, he directly glued his green eyes to the food on the table. Xiao Wang and Xiao Hang are still young people after all. Those eyes were almost glued to the three beauties, especially Liang Crossing. But their rumbling stomachs made them recover. Now is not the time to look at beauties and enjoy themselves. It is time to fill their stomachs. Then, it is better to obey than to be respectful. The three of them sat down together and immediately started to eat heartily. Seeing that the food might not be enough, Su Lin also walked out and extracted. The potato mines and vegetables were extracted into fragrant dishes. They were brought in together. Eat slowly, don't worry, there are more here, enough, green, and healthy food. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Director Liu was fine. Yesterday, Su Lin barely filled his stomach. The other two young men lived on leather. Suddenly there was such a rich food in front of them, how could they not eat too much? Question mark? Brother, Su Yue timidly pulled Su Lin's sleeve. Who are they? People from the boxing gym. I know, but why didn't I hear you mention it before? We met yesterday, it's fate. I have to go out during the day, and sometimes the plants outside can't protect you all. I just happened to be short of a thug, so I recruited them in. Besides, our farm is so big, we still have to accommodate more people in the end. Su Lin used the word accommodate instead of treat. After all, in his heart, he is still very cautious about such things. Oh, Su Yue pouted and nodded. She naturally supported her brother's decision 100%. Since it was the people invited by her brother himself, then it's fine. Liang Crossing on the side, felt even more so. Yesterday afternoon, Chen Milin and Zhang Xianming's picking on each other had already made Su Lin and Liang Crossing reach a consensus. The people who move in are more important than the quantity. You must not be too chaste and take in too many people, too many cats and dogs. This is the end of the world, and you are just a clay Buddha crossing the river, and you can't save yourself. What else do you want to do? Liang Crossing glanced at Su Lin. After getting Su Lin's unwavering eyes, she was relieved and sat at the table to start eating. Brother Su Lin. Lin Xiaoan said curiously, why was it so noisy last night? It's okay if you get used to it. It's okay here during the day, but it's noisy at night. Ha ha ha. Then why does it feel like this villa seems to have become bigger and wider? Yes. Su Yue nodded beside her. The two girlfriends blinked their eyes with a burst of curiosity. This Su Lin was stunned for a moment, and immediately fooled. I said, this is a house with magic. As time goes by, I'm afraid the changes will be even greater. The 3-story villa looks more like a mansion from the outside. The number of rooms has increased dramatically, with more than a dozen houses for people to live in. Wait until Director Liu and the others have finished eating. Su Lin said slowly, how is it? Director Liu, is the food to your taste? It's delicious. Director Liu said with a sob. It's been a long time since I had such hot food. Thank you, Su Lin. Yes. Xiao Wang nodded, and after eating, you won't feel nauseous or etching. It's really green and healthy food. Xiao Hang on the side was busy putting the steak into his mouth, so he could only nod in agreement. It's okay, you can continue to eat it later. Director Liu, I'm here to formally invite you to stay and join us. At least in such a doomsday, we can have a companion and take care of each other. How about it? Su Lin said solemnly. This. Director Liu was stunned. He glanced at the two students behind him. Su Lin reacted immediately. He nodded immediately. Okay, but only for Xiao Wang and Xiao Hang in front of you. After all, Su Lin said in a very serious tone, I must personally supervise all the people who joined this farm. Thank you so much. Director Liu nodded. He also understood the reason why Su Lin invited him to join. How could someone invite people who had only met once to this paradise farm for no reason? It's all about interests after all. He knew that Su Lin was attracted by his skills. But since Xiao Wang and Xiao Hang followed him so loyally, he had to give them a good way out. This was also what he had been hesitating about. After all, this is Su Lin's territory, and whether it can be allowed or not is just a matter of his words. Having said that, welcome Director Liu, Xiao Wang, and Xiao Hang to join us. Su Lin smiled. At the same time, ding, congratulations on someone moving in. Ding, currently, the radiance is 6/10. providing 100 sunshine points every 5 minutes. The arrival of 6 people made the radiance play a greater role. Every 5 minutes, 100 sunshine points were rising. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 41, Self-Help Organization, Vulcan Fortress. Afterwards, Su Lin took the 3 men to choose a room. The 3 of them chose the area on the 3rd floor in tacit agreement. After all, Su Lin also had 3 beauties who lived on the 2nd floor. At the same time, Su Lin did not forget to explain some precautions. At night, no matter who knocks on the door, do not open it. And he repeatedly explained that there will be strange creatures zombies appearing, and the whole farm is magical. Although Su Lin said it very seriously, but this fantasy will only make people confused. However, considering that there are so many healthy and green foods on the farm, and the expansion of the house, it can only be attributed to magic. Finally, before leaving, Su Lin also said to Director Liu, Director Liu, basically I will plant good plants to ensure everyone's safety, but this place is bound to be exposed, just like the gangsters just now. They can bring hooligans today, and who knows what they can bring tomorrow. Please protect this place when I'm not here. After all, it is a last safe haven. As soon as the voice fell, Director Liu freed his hands and patted Su Lin on the shoulder. Su Lin, you are willing to take us in. We are very lucky. If it weren't for you, I would have starved to death. Don't worry. Hahaha, I'll leave it to you. I have something to do here. You can take a rest. There is food and drink in the refrigerator. See you tonight. He waved his hand. Su Lin went downstairs and said goodbye to Liang Crossing and Su Yue in the lobby on the 1st floor. He went to Chunfeng City alone, riding on a small motorcycle that would never get stuck in traffic. Su Lin was thinking in his mind how to collect them all. There is only one kind of material for synthesizing energy flowers, that is lotus. It only takes 20 lotus flowers. All of them are in full bloom. The number is a bit too much, but in Su Lin's impression, Chunfeng City rarely grows lotus. The ponds and general parks are planted with water lotus seeds. Even if lotus is planted, it is rare to see lotus in full bloom. Either it is picked by someone, or it blooms ugly due to incompatibility with the climate and soil. Both reasons are true. This was enough to make Su Lin feel troubled. I remember. Su Lin's brain was working fast, and he remembered that there was indeed such a place. It might have so many lotuses, and all of them were in full bloom. It was a private estate Wuthering Heights in the Western District. Just go. The little motorcycle was going, and soon, it came to the western suburbs. But when he passed through the dark roads, he was dumbfounded. This was not the holiday estate he was familiar with. This was clearly the Doomsday Fortress. Look at what is at the end of the winding and dark road. Countless bricks were piled up, and even the gate was reinforced with steel plates. There were also 2 people holding wooden sticks and wearing black clothes at the door. Judging from their appearance, they must be guards. There were also a few torches on the side of the gate. It had a primitive meaning. A faint black smoke floated in the fortress, and there was even a smell of burning. This situation confused Su Lin. Hey, who are you? A guard saw Su Lin driving a scooter on a mountain road. He asked with a curse. After hearing this, Su Lin put his scooter aside and walked forward. Well, I happened to pass by here too. May I ask where this place is? Wasn't it a private holiday estate? Vacation? Estate? It's the end of the world. Who has the leisure time? This place has been occupied by us. We are the Vulcan Fortress. Oh. Su Lin nodded. He could see it himself. This is probably not some doomsday organization, the planned and organized one. But I don't know what kind of random people it is. But, Lotus is in the estate. I can only take a risk. Thinking of this, Su Lin immediately staggered over and looked like he was about to fall. Could it be that this is a legendary Vulcan Fortress? Oh, mommy. I knew you hadn't given up on me. Finally, I met the legendary Vulcan Fortress before I died. Oh. Su Lin looked pretentious. his eyes full of admiration for the fortress in front of him. You too. I came from the next city. Along the way, I always heard about the Vulcan fortress. They said that this is the last dawn of mankind and the only hope for human survival. This time I saw it. It's true. The two guards blushed because of the praise. They completely forgot that the Vulcan fortress only had a prototype the day before yesterday. Little brother, you are right. There are dozens of people living in our manor. Yes, yes. Especially our lord. He himself can release fire. If it weren't for the lord, I'm afraid we would have been displaced long ago. Su Lin raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect that there were dozens of people in this manor. It was a big organization. And the leader? I'm afraid he's the head of this fortress. What about releasing the flame? A trick? Maybe. Su Lin pursed his lips and continued to look pitiful. I finally came to the Vulcan fortress. He cried and snotted. I wonder if you can take in a poor guy like me. I've been hungry for several days. Woo woo woo. Of course you can. We welcome all humans to join us in the Vulcan fortress to tide over the difficulties. But, the guard paused and continued. You also know that there is no free lunch in the world. If you want to join, in addition to labor and obeying orders and arrangements, there is more. The guard gently pinched his thumb and index finger, kneading back and forth, making a classic move. This. Su Lin's mouth twitched. This is not what we want. It's the order of the leader. You have to show some respect. Su Lin rolled his eyes after hearing this. It seems that this leader is not a good person. There is no point asking for money now. It's just that Su Lin didn't have any valuables on him. You too. You know I came all the way here, and my valuables are all in the original city. How about letting me go in and take a look first? Then I'll go back and get the valuables. You see, I've admired the Vulcan fortress for a long time. This can be regarded as a relief for me, so that I can have the strength to go back, right? Su Lin was very sincere, and he felt disgusted by his flattery. However, this disgusting thing finally moved the two guards. They looked at each other, and their eyes flashed with admiration and sympathy for Su Lin. There was even the kind of leisurely and contented feeling of being flattered. Okay, then, you come in and take a look and see what our Vulcan fortress that protects all mankind looks like. It's almost time, and it just so happens that the Lord Leader is going to show his miracles. You are lucky to be able to witness his splendor. Chapter 42, Superpowers? Miracle? Su Lin raised his eyebrows. He felt more and more that this Vulcan fortress, or the leader, was a charlatan. In some way, he deceived the ordinary people who were powerless and empty in the end times. But it was useless to think too much. Just walk in and take a look, and you will know. One guard was left to continue guarding the gate. Another younger one took Su Lin into the gate. I haven't asked your name yet. I'm Zhang Jiajia. What about you? Su Lin. Su Lin nodded, a little absent-minded, because the scene in front of him was a little shocking to him. Torches everywhere. The original manor was a leisurely small park, and the clean lake in the courtyard, used to attract people to fish and play. Now, it's in tatters everywhere. It's full of smoke and miasma. The green plants and flowers on the ground have been destroyed, leaving only bare yellow soil. It is full of endless desolation and primitive meaning. Not to mention the torches everywhere, which gave the place a spooky and strange feeling. Su Lin narrowed his eyes and looked around at the residents here. They seemed to be possessed by a demon. They were singing and dancing around the fire. They seemed to be chanting some spells. Su Lin shivered. He soon arrived at the courtyard. When he saw that the lake, which used to be emerald green, had been polluted and smelt foul, Su Lin's heart sank. The growth conditions of Lotus are very dependent on the cleanliness of water resources. Seeing such a green and sticky lake, Su Lin felt that he might return empty-handed this time. Why do you care so much about this lake? Guard Zhang Jiajia asked curiously. I used to like the lotus here very much. I thought I could see it. Also, there are some lotuses as we go deeper. Oh. Su Lin raised his eyebrows. It was really good to have hope rekindled. Just as the two of them were about to continue walking, a melodious voice came from the garden corridor next to them. The leader has arrived. Hearing this order, not only Zhang Jiajia, but all the people around him became nervous, looking in that direction with a respectful look. Some people even knelt on their knees, extremely pious. Su Lin twitched the corners of his mouth, really confused. Not far away, a few strong men came. They carried a rack on their backs, and a person was lying lazily on it. He was in his 30s. He had a red crew cut, a proud and lazy face, and a woman in light clothes was hugged next to him. Welcome to the leader. Welcome to the leader. Welcome to the leader. Seeing this, Su Lin finally understood that it was a religious organization. But what kind of ability does this crew cut leader have? Okay, be quiet. The leader waved his hand. After stretching, he sat up straight. Well, very good. You are all very energetic today, so I will reward you with some food. Come on. The leader snapped his fingers. Someone immediately brought a pig and a cow. They were both slaughtered before. There were faint purple spots on their bodies. That was the proof of being contaminated by radiation. You can eat them, but you will inevitably vomit and have diarrhea. Maybe they died in the manure pit. Okay, leave. The leader waved his hand. The pigs and cows were placed directly on the open ground. Everyone, you must remember. Who is it? Who is saving you in this doomsday scene without caring about his own life? It's the leader. Who else gave you light, warmth, and food? It's the leader. So, you must remember that it was me, the leader Yan Wu, who gave you life and the right to survive. Yes. Su Lin twitched his mouth, feeling that he had run into a large-scale pyramid scheme and poor scene. But what exactly is this Yan Wu capable of? Just when Su Lin was getting impatient, finally, Yan Wu's self-entertainment show was finally over. He waved his hand and pointed his palm at the pig and the cow. Hey ha. With a bang, a ball of fire shot out from Yan Wu's palm. Yes, a ball of fire shot out directly. The flame exploded at the pig and the cow. Another boom. The raging flames enveloped the pig and the cow. Long live the Lord. Long live the Lord. Long live the Lord. Unlike the cheers of the crowd, Su Lin's stunned expression was different. Others were used to seeing it, but he was confused and surprised, especially when the flames disappeared. The full appearance of the pig and the cow shocked Su Lin, because, except for the traces of being burned by the fire, all the purple spots disappeared. Question mark? Everyone walked forward very skillfully, using knives to divide and eat it. This. Su Lin's mouth twitched. Shooting fireballs? Perhaps it can be explained by mechanism and magic. This is already far-fetched. Pigs and cows are on fire. Well, there is kerosene on top. But how come all the radiation pollution disappeared after the fire was burned out? Question mark? This can't be explained by any mechanism or magic. The only explanation is that Su Lin narrowed his eyes and stared at Yan Wu in front of him. His intuition told him, I'm afraid that Yan Wu in front of him is not an ordinary person. Maybe he is a person with a system like himself. Question mark? Or it is a superpower of gene mutation. Question mark? There is really no way to explain this. In the last life, it seems that there was such a situation. It is said that, because of the influence of radiation, some human genes mutated and gained various incredible abilities. Just as Su Lin was talking to himself, someone next to him accidentally bumped into him. Huh? Are you a newcomer? Why didn't I see you before? I came here for a tour. Su Lin scratched his head. In such a fanatical place, it's better to be low-key. But as a stranger, he easily attracted everyone's attention. Yan Wu glanced at him and snapped his fingers. Several strong men clamped Su Lin directly in front of him. Hey, let go. Su Lin tried to struggle, but his strength was really not as strong as these strong men. Newcomer, why didn't you come to see me first? Yan Wu looked down at him. Report to the leader. Zhang Jiajia, the person involved, trembled. He has heard about our Vulcan castle for a long time and came here from afar without bringing anything with him. I felt sorry for him, so I brought him in for a tour so that he would have something to think about. Oh. Hearing that it was a long way away, Yan Wu unconsciously raised his chin. He looked down at him. But, Yan Wu walked down slowly. He raised his foot and kicked Zhang Jiajia away. This kind of thing is up to you to decide. If I hadn't taken you in, you would have died outside. I have the final say in the Vulcan fortress. It seems that you have forgotten your roots. Get out. If you want to come in, you must worship again. Seeing Yan Wu being so domineering, Su Lin's face was grim, and he clenched his teeth. He wished he could take out his pistol and shoot him directly. Chapter 43, Gathering Intelligence. Zhang Jiajia was originally just a gate guard. He felt really bad for getting involved because of himself. Besides, since the radiation outbreak, Su Lin had never seen anyone dare to be so arrogant in front of him. Wasn't it because he was the only one who had such a qualification? Su Lin, who was deprived of the opportunity to show off, was a little annoyed. But he calmed down. He decided to observe it first. Who knows what Yan Wu's flame is? Poor Zhang Jiajia. He dared to be angry, but didn't dare to speak. In order to enter this fortress of the god of fire, he paid all his wealth. Now, after a few days of peace and quiet, he was kicked out. Like a poor worm, he had to grit his teeth viciously, and walked away slowly. From beginning to end, he lowered his face gloomily, and at most he just secretly glared at Yan Wu, who was like a psychotic tyrant. The look he gave to Su Lin was just full of shame, without any blame. Su Lin nodded slightly. It seems that Zhang Jiajia is still a man. He knows who to point the finger at. A decision has been made. Next, Su Lin looked straight at Yan Wu. Hello, leader, I'm Su Lin. You want to join my Vulcan fortress? Yan Wu looked down at him. His arrogant look was a bit disgusting. Yes. Then go back and prepare the offerings first. For example. Yan Wu raised his eyebrows, and his contemptuous eyes seemed to say, how can there be such a brainless person? You don't understand this? After a light cough, Yan Wu said, the property certificate, car, money, anything is fine. Oh, so the leader wants material things, but do you think these materials are still useful in such a doomsday? Huh? Yan Wu snorted coldly, doomsday? It will eventually pass. When it passes, the one who holds gold and silver treasures will be the king of the world, and that person is me. Yan Wu waved his arms. He spoke out his ambition without hesitation. The people on the side seemed to be poked in some spots. They kept howling. Su Lin twitched his mouth. The end of the world? Who gave Yan Wu the courage to make him feel that he could survive the end of the world? Fish Liang? Well, it's okay, just to let me have a tour. Although I have a few properties in the next city, this is also an investment, plus some unpleasant things happened just now. Hearing the words property and investment, Yan Wu's eyes changed a little. Those who joined in before were all cats and dogs. Now he finally waited for a big fish. However, Yan Wu still had to maintain his status as the leader. From far away, you are a guest. Yan Wu nodded. Then I will reluctantly take you on a tour. Then, Yan Wu strode away, followed by several strong bodyguards. Seeing that things were going so smoothly, Su Lin also hurriedly followed. He was so excited. As long as he finds 20 lotuses, Su Lin can leave here immediately. Real estate, the next city, they are all lies. Just to fool Yan Wu. However, Su Lin still calmly put on the appearance of a rich young master and pointed at the entire Vulcan fortress. Su Lin, what do you think of my Vulcan castle? Magnificent, right? Well, it used to be a manor, and now it has become like this. You have worked hard. Hahaha, that's also thanks to my divine power, otherwise, my people would starve to death. Oh, divine power. Su Lin raised his eyebrows. Indistinctly, he felt that he might be able to get something out of him. Don't worry about it. Yan Wu waved his hand, as if he realized that he was talking too much. Yeah. Su Lin nodded, and didn't dare to ask too much to arouse suspicion, but in the end, he also planted a time bomb. To test Yan Wu. I seem to have heard of similar things on the way here, but the other party seems to have a genetic mutation, and can summon clean water. Hearing this, Yan Wu's pupils suddenly contracted. He trembled and pulled Su Lin's shoulders. Where did you hear about it? Where is it? It's on the side of the road. It seems to be Mingguang City, north of Chunfeng City. Mingguang City? Yan Wu muttered to himself. Huh, I didn't expect that. Besides me, there are other people with superpowers. I thought I was the only one. What a coincidence. The distance was close enough for Su Lin to overhear. After getting the expected answer, Su Lin grinned. It turned out to be the superpower brought by genetic mutation. TSK, anyway, only I can use the miracle, hahaha. Yan Wu laughed and looked at Su Lin. How is it? Do you like it here? Come with me, food and accommodation are provided. But, aren't the farmed animals outside drinking contaminated water, which has caused problems, and can no longer be eaten? You just saw that the flames I fired can disinfect farmed animals. The radiation plaques on farmed animals roasted by my flames will all disappear, and they can be eaten again. So magical? Su Lin pretended to be surprised. Yes. And when the cold wave is about to hit, you can still roast them with flames. Ha ha ha. Isn't Chunfeng City about to enter winter? The winter in Chunfeng City is so cold. Yan Wu laughed arrogantly. He gained this superpower after his gene mutation on the day of the radiation outbreak. As the impact of radiation expanded, he finally realized the importance of this superpower and immediately created this Vulcan fortress to satisfy his desires. While collecting believers, he controlled food and women. What Yan Wu didn't expect was that the man standing in front of him was a man with a system, and he was reborn. Su Lin glanced at Yan Wu. He didn't expect that Yan Wu was so idiot. Everything was under Su Lin's control, and it went so smoothly. First, he found out that Yan Wu had superpowers due to gene mutation caused by radiation. Second, he also found out that Yan Wu was not a reborn. Su Lin was actually a little worried that the owner of superpowers, such as Yan Wu, was a reborn. If there was a conflict with the other party for survival issues, it would inevitably be a fierce battle. Rebirth means leading in intelligence. And the reason why Su Lin could make such a judgment, it was entirely because he knew that the next winter in Chunfeng City would be extremely hot. The sun in the sky was burning. The impact of radiation is not only reflected in water pollution and soil pollution. Even the climate has become abnormal. Chapter 44. Witness it with your own eyes. The next winter? That was a summer like a furnace. Then the cold current will explode, and it will be a world of ice and snow. So what Chunfeng City will face next is a world of ice and fire. But Yan Wu thought that his flame could help everyone survive the winter. It can only be said that it is ridiculous. Thank you. Su Lin smiled. Huh. Yan Wu was stunned, not knowing what it meant. It's okay. It's okay. Su Lin waved his hand. He wanted to thank Yan Wu for his arrogance, which allowed Su Lin to get the information he wanted. Su Lin thought in his heart, in other words, I'm afraid that I'm the only reborn person in this world, and I'm a reborn person who has obtained the system. If there is a conflict with these people with superpowers, I can at least have an advantage in the intelligence war. Hey. At this time, several people finally came to the end of the lake. As Zhang Jiajia said, there are lotus flowers here. A rough calculation shows that there are more than 20 lotus flowers. Su Lin's hanging heart finally relaxed. After a sigh of relief, Su Lin's brain was working fast, thinking about how to get rid of Yan Wu. But the opportunity came soon. When he racked his brains, a figure ran over. Master, someone is looking for you outside. He said he came with many offerings. Oh. Yan Wu raised his eyebrows. Then Su Lin, you can walk around here by yourself. I'll be back soon. Okay, no problem. I won't bother you. Su Lin smiled. Then he looked at the backs of Yan Wu and the others leaving, and he was so excited. He didn't have to get rid of them himself. The opportunity came. Wait until they were far away. Su Lin came to the lake, stretched out his hand, and touched the lotus closest to him. Although this lotus was a little wilted due to the problem of water pollution, the system also gave a reassuring prompt the moment he touched it. It can be collected. Do it as soon as you say it. In order to seize the time, Su Lin jumped directly into the lake. Fortunately it was not very deep. After many twists and turns, there are a total of 30 lotuses, and only 22 can be collected as materials, but it is enough. Collection success. Ding, congratulations on collecting all the materials and unlocking the energy flower. Ding, congratulations on unlocking the energy flower, gaining 50 experience points, and 100 sunshine points. Su Lin struggled to climb out of the lake and shook off the water and dirt on his body. The joy after the fusion of the materials swept over, and it was so comfortable. Plant, energy flower, description, produce an energy beam immediately after planting sunlight. 175 cooling. 6 is a disposable plant, and it is a plant that disappears directly after being planted. However, its importance is very obvious. Plant and get an energy beam. In some cases, it can even be said to be a magic weapon to turn the tide of the battle. From childhood to adulthood, every step of the growth of Energy Flower is a style of a 3 good student. She has always been committed to bringing full positive energy to the vast number of plant compatriots. One of the purposes of this trip has been completed, and the only thing left is the fire dragon grass. The collective material of fire dragon grasses. Su Lin doesn't know what to do. A flame plus a pile of hay plus a dragon equals fire dragon grass. The first 2 are easy, and you don't even have to go to Chunfeng City. But this dragon, Su Lin swallowed his saliva. Dragon. Where can I find it? Question mark. Hello. System? This synthesis material, a dragon. What the hell is it? There are dragons in this world? Ding. Please explore it yourself. Explore, you big head ghost. Ding. The synthesis materials are all things that the world has, and they will not be faked casually. Bullshit. There are dragons in this world? Ding. I'll give you a hint. You don't have to experience it yourself, just witness it with your own eyes. Huh. Su Lin was stunned. Could it be that the system, you tell me honestly, that this dragon is not a noun, but an adjective, or a verb? Question mark. Ding. Please explore on your own. Get lost, old pervert. Su Lin cursed. Fortunately, the system said that there was no need to experience it in person. It would be great if I could witness it with my own eyes. Live broadcast. Su Lin rolled his eyes. Forget about the experience. Su Lin was not that kind of person. He could only think of a way to watch a so-called live broadcast. Old pervert system, if you continue like this, I don't know what kind of deep pit you will lead me to. Su Lin complained while preparing to return the same way. As for this fire dragon grass, he could only take things as they come. He didn't know when he would have the chance to witness it. He was a little tired and just wanted to go back and lie down quickly. I don't know if I can catch up with Zhang Jiajie. If possible, I will invite him to go there. I still feel a little guilty. He looks pretty good. Just as Su Lin was thinking this, he saw a lot of people gathered in the wide square in front of him. Looking closer, in addition to the leader Yan Wu, there were also some outsiders. It was the person who just said that he would come to the Vulcan fortress. At the same time, it was also someone Su Lin knew. It was the woman that the strange father and son had used together. Chen Milin. Su Lin twitched his mouth. It was nothing at first, but when he thought of the strange father and son in the morning, meeting Chen Milin, an old classmate again, Su Lin couldn't stop shivering. Seeing Su Lin, Chen Milin was even more stunned. She didn't expect that she could meet Su Lin here. But the most surprising thing was Su Lin, because Chen Milin at this time had already grabbed Yan Wu's arm. She looked like a little bird. It's already done? Question mark. It's worthy of Chen Milin. Ha ha ha. Su Lin, you are here. Come, introduce me, my new girlfriend. Yang Wu, who was happy to get a beauty, introduced proudly. Congratulations. Su Lin nodded. So this plot isn't it said that someone brought a sacrifice to come to seek refuge? My little beauty is the best sacrifice. Yan Wu laughed. Oh, Su Lin rolled his eyes. He vaguely guessed the reason. Chen Milin, who was desperate, urgently needed a shelter. As a kept man, she naturally had some savings. But she didn't expect to be favored by Yan Wu. So, she simply did her old business. Anyway, selling herself was not the first or second time for her. Chapter 45. Chen Milin is the one who pays for her. This is simply a fierce operation. Back to the pre-liberation era. Su Lin, who guessed the reason, couldn't help rolling his eyes. But he wouldn't blame Chen Milin for anything. After all, in such a chaotic world, being able to survive is the most important thing. Sell yourself? There are many people who want to sell themselves and survive, but have no way. Brother leader Chen Milin leaned on Yan Wu like a little bird and glanced at Su Lin at the same time. Who is he? A man from a neighboring city who said he has a lot of offerings. TSK. Chen Milin rolled her eyes. He is lying to you. Su Lin is my college classmate, a poor boy. Yesterday he deliberately bullied me. Chen Milin choked, and her delicate tone had already aroused Yan Wu's protective desire. Yan Wu glared at Su Lin. You kid, lied to me. Yeah, yes, I'm a poor boy. Get intelligence and collect materials. Su Lin has no reason to stay in the Vulcan fortress. He was quite frank and pointed it out directly. What? What do you mean? I just came here for a visit. Thank you, master. Ha ha ha. Su Lin waved his hand and made a gesture to leave. Yan Wu stopped Su Lin directly. My Vulcan fortress. You can come and go as you please. TSK TSK. Su Lin raised his eyebrows and sneered. I don't know if it is true or not, but the woman next to you is like a big bus. You can get on with it whenever you want. She even had an affair with a father and son before. Don't you think it's dirty? Hearing the words bus and father and son, Chen Milin's face instantly turned red, extremely blushing. But Yan Wu's pupils shrank slightly, and he gritted his teeth and said, I don't mind. She is my woman now. Yes, master. Brother Chen Milin glared at Su Lin. What a fucking pot is that? I finally found a long-term meal ticket and saw the hope of survival, and this Su Lin is going to make trouble again? Question mark? Then Chen Milin said, Su Lin, he tried hard to pursue me before, but failed, so he always used all kinds of lies to slander me in the future. Huh? Really? Yan Wu widened his pupils and stared at Su Lin. Su Lin curled his lips. Only you will believe it, right? Then do you think I believe you, or me, a woman? Okay, let's settle the new grudges and old accounts together. Yan Wu waved his hands, and several people around him surrounded Su Lin. It seems that Su Lin can't run away this time. Idiot. Su Lin rolled his eyes, then slowly jumped out of the pistol and pointed it at Yan Wu. Guess, is there any bullet in my gun? Su Lin grinned, with endless threats in his tone. Yan Wu was stunned for a moment, but he also trembled and retorted, this is fake. Yes, it must be fake. Then you come and try it. Or Su Lin looked around with a gloomy look. Or, who else wants to try it? The dark muzzle of the gun contained terrifying energy. This energy was enough to devour anyone. Everyone stepped back half a step unconsciously, and no one dared to speak, fearing that they would become the poor unlucky guy. Yan Wu was sweating profusely, and he clenched his fists tightly. After becoming the leader, this was the first time he was threatened by someone like this. He was full of anger, and he was gritting his teeth with hatred. At this time, he had only one thought. That was to raise his hand and shoot flames at Su Lin. But, who knows whether this pistol is real or fake? Who knows? Is Su Lin one step faster, or Yan Wu is faster? In the end, Yan Wu took a deep breath. It was not easy to have the superpower of flame. In this chaotic world, he is the only savior. He doesn't want to take risks. Isn't it nice to live well? Then, Yan Wu glared at Su Lin and said, go away, don't let me see you again. Humph. Su Lin grinned. His brain was working quickly, thinking about whether he should take risks. Just shoot Yan Wu in front of him. But soon, he gave up this idea. You don't need to think about it. After this shot, others will definitely rush over. A small pistol, although it has unlimited bullets, there will always be gaps when firing. This risk cannot be taken. Not to mention, if Yan Wu is really killed, what about the people who have taken refuge in the Vulcan fortress? Will they starve to death at the next meal? Then we will never see each other again. Su Lin waved his hand, still pointing the gun at Yan Wu, and slowly retreated. When he retreated to the small motorcycle, he turned around and rode on the car. Tut, tut, tut. He left in a flash. Yan Wu looked at Su Lin's back as he left, and said, ugh. He spat out a mouthful of thick phlegm, and threw it on the ground. Damn it, next time I see Su Lin, I will beat him to death. Brother leader. Chen Milin said coquettishly, this Su Lin is not a good person at all. If you meet him next time, you must be careful of him, and don't let him go. At this point, Chen Milin showed an evil smile. He has a farm himself, and I don't know how much supplies there are. Oh. Yan Wu raised his eyebrows. Although his superpower flame can disinfect the contaminated meat to a certain extent, so that people can eat it normally, but it is also a waterless source. Once there is no way to get more meat, it is inevitable to go hungry. Supplies are always the most important. In addition to this new and old hatred, there is also the temptation of supplies. Yan Wu grinned unconsciously, and his smile was full of greed. Okay, when we have repaired here, we will gather people and take back all the supplies of Su Lin. We also need to avenge my little beauty. Yan Wu reached out his hand affectionately and scratched Chen Milin's nose. Hate it. Thank you brother. Chen Milin pretended to be shy. Chen Milin, who was just clinging to Yan Wu's arm, had a very gloomy face. With a ferocious look, she stared at the direction where Su Lin left. On the other side, Su Lin was riding a small motorcycle and wandering on the side of the road. In addition to wanting to go back to the farm to rest, he also wanted to find the guard Zhang Jiajia who was driven out. First, to express his apology, and second, to invite him to live on the farm together. I thought it would be a needle in a haystack, but I didn't expect that when I drove along the road, I met Zhang Jiajia who was walking on foot halfway. Hey, handsome boy, why are you alone? Su Lin greeted with a smile. Chapter 46 I, Yang Wei. Su Lin. Zhang Jiajia blushed unconsciously and lowered his head when he saw Su Lin. He seemed to be a little embarrassed about what happened just now. Yeah, I'm out. Are you planning to go home and prepare the offerings? Zhang Jiajia pursed his lips, and there was something else in his twinkling eyes. No. After the commotion just now, I also know that Yan Wu is not a good person. There is no need to go to him. Su Lin shrugged, looking relaxed. This Zhang Jiajia smiled bitterly. Indeed, Yan Wu is not a good person. Relying on his superpower of fire, he not only does evil, but is also arrogant and domineering. But, is there any choice? In such a doomsday, as long as there is a bite of food to eat, you have to kneel down and thank God. When I think that I will inevitably end up on the streets and be displaced in the future, Zhang Jiajia felt even more disgusted and desperate. What should he do in the future? I say, Zhang Jiajia, do you want to follow me? Huh. Free food, accommodation, and drink, and I guarantee your survival. Su Lin, don't comfort me. If you can take care of yourself, you don't have to come all the way to Yan Wu. When he said the name of Yan Wu, Zhang Jiajia subconsciously clenched his teeth, and his vicious look seemed to swallow him alive. I didn't intend to go to him, but I have some things to deal with in the manor. Let's go. Brother will take you there. Su Lin pointed to the backseat of the small motorcycle. Zhang Jiajia was stunned for a moment and didn't know what Su Lin meant for a while. But he didn't have any choice. He could only hope that what Su Lin said was true. With a raised leg, Zhang Jiajia sat directly behind Su Lin. Let's go. Anyway, I'm tired. Okay, let's go. The small motorcycle was thumping. When passing through a rural area in Chunfeng City, Su Lin suddenly asked, Zhang Jiajia, do you have any needs? What do you mean? Zhang Jiajia swallowed his saliva. He didn't know what Su Lin meant. It means literally, look, here is just. Su Lin parked the scooter on the side of the road. There were several women standing on the side of the road. They were dressed a little thin and their makeup was exaggerated and charming. Zhang Jiajia seemed to understand a little. But for such an extremely abrupt inquiry, Zhang Jiajia still didn't understand why Su Lin asked him like this. Oh, it's a meeting gift. After all, although it was Yan Wu's fault, if you hadn't taken me into the Vulcan fortress, he wouldn't have been like that. Meeting gift? Yes. Zhang Jiajia swallowed his saliva. Although he felt a little uncomfortable with such a meeting gift. How could there be such a meeting gift? But to be honest, these days, watching Yan Wu being able to hug many beauties, he was guarding the gate like a fool. A lot of evil fire has been accumulated for a long time. But, Zhang Jiajia swallowed his saliva. I don't have money. Why do I need money now? Money can't circulate. Then you have to exchange it with food and supplies. I have it. Su Lin pointed to his backpack. Really? Why would I lie to you? That's fine. Zhang Jiajia swallowed his saliva, his eyes full of desire. Then can you give me some food first? I'm so hungry. Hahaha, no problem. Su Lin directly took out the drinking water and homemade lunchbox that he had prepared in advance from his backpack. It would be better if he didn't take it out. Once he took it out, the streetwalkers next to him stared at him. Zhang Jiajia stared at him even more and directly snatched the things in Su Lin's hand to prevent them from being robbed. After a meal of wolfing down, Zhang Jiajia was so full that he kept burping. After wiping his greasy mouth, he slowly said, I'm full. Thank you, thank you. Speaking of these, isn't there a saying, when you are full and warm, you will think of lust? Let's go. This Zhang Jiajia swallowed his saliva. If just now, he was still a little confused and resistant to this meeting gift, now that he is full and satisfied, he really wants to have such a hearty and refreshing time. Don't be embarrassed. After all, I feel guilty. Su Lin smiled. Then I'd rather obey than be respectful. In fact, I've long had my eyes on the little girl in the pink skirt over there. Let's go, let's go. Su Lin waved his hand and went up directly to talk about the price with the little girl. 5 bottles of mineral water and 2 lunch boxes, a direct deal. At the same time, Su Lin also got a small window for watching the game in exchange for a lunch box. If it weren't for this fire dragon grass, no one would propose such a meeting gift. It is better to do it today than to wait for a day. And there happened to be a young and strong man behind him. Su Lin decided to do it here. For a moment, he didn't know whether to say that Zhang Jiajia was lucky or unlucky. He operated like a tiger. The process was indescribable. Anyway, Su Lin felt very excited. If he didn't mind these things so much, he would probably want to experience it himself. After Zhang Jiajia finished, a strange feeling appeared in Su Lin's heart. Su Lin took a deep breath. He knew that in this way, at least one material task was collected and completed. That is, one-stop service. Witness the completion of a one-stop service. He hurriedly walked out of the small house, and while he was still calming down, the women on the side also came forward. Little brother, you were sneakily watching your friend. What's wrong? You don't want it? Yeah, it's so uncomfortable just watching you. A woman in red glanced at Su Lin charmingly. You're already up. Sister, can you give it a discount? 3 bottles of water will be enough. No food is required. 2 bottles will be enough for me. 2 bottles will be enough. Su Lin's mouth twitched, looking at the spring breeze in front of him, and the coquettish voice like the spring breeze. He almost couldn't control himself. He shook his head hard, and finally calmed down. After taking a deep breath, Su Lin said, sorry, I'm Yang Wenyi. Then he directly grabbed Zhang Jiajia, who was holding a cigarette and looked satisfied. He rode his beloved motorcycle and left directly. First of all, he didn't want to continue to entangle with these women. Secondly, I couldn't bear to stay any longer. Even if I used all the cosmetics, the women in front of me couldn't repair their haggard faces. The withered cheeks and dry lips were full of hunger and thirst. Su Lin also guessed that the woman who had made love with Zhang Jiajia would definitely share the fruits of her labor with the sisters. Then she would wait for the next kind-hearted person to come to her house so that she could survive. Thinking of this, Su Lin gritted his teeth and secretly vowed to himself that he must survive and let more people survive. Chapter 47. The Rat's Tail Juice. Soon, they returned to the farm. When Zhang Jiajia saw so many green and healthy plants planted by the gate, he was stunned. With a snap of his fingers, he set Zhang Jiajia to the whitelist. Su Lin continued to fool him with magic, monsters at night, and don't open the door. Hey, this is our home. You can go to the 3rd floor to find your room. Come on, everyone, let me introduce you. This is Zhang Jiajia. I picked her up on the road. Su Lin made a simple introduction. Several people in the living room also hurriedly introduced themselves. In the environment of the end of the world, strangers often get familiar with each other faster. The 4 words empathy come much faster than before. However, after Zhang Jiajia got to know everyone, he fell into a long-lost silence. What's wrong? Su Lin was a little surprised by Zhang Jiajia's strange behavior. Can you pinch me? Okay. I can even give you a slap. Su Lin stretched out his hand and pinched him hard. Ah, it hurts. How about you slap me again? Why didn't I know you had this habit? What's wrong? Do you think you're dreaming? Yeah. What's going on? Zhang Jiajia's face was full of surprise. Are the foods in the refrigerator real? In today's society, is there still such a paradise? I've already told you to just follow me. You don't have to guard the gate outside. Just eat and drink well, and don't cause me trouble. Su Lin patted Zhang Jiajia's shoulder. In the fortress of Vulcan before, the kind of busy life, working like a cow and a horse, and having no food to eat. It's a world of difference. So, do you want to follow me? That's a must. Or I have to beg you to let me stay. Let me do anything. Ha ha ha. Zhang Jiajia laughed. Ding, congratulations on someone moving in. Ding, currently, the radiance is 7/10, providing 100 sunlight points every 4 minutes. In addition to Su Lin, there are 7 people in the small farm. Su Yue, Liang Crossing, Lin Xiaoyan, Director Liu, Xiao Wang, Xiao Hong, and Zhang Jiajia. It just so happens that all 7 of them are in the living room at this time. After looking around, Su Lin planned to make some things clear. It just so happens that I'll tell you now. Su Lin coughed lightly. I think everyone knows very well what the situation is like outside. This is our refuge. Everyone has a share. I hope everyone can take good care of it. Everyone also knows that this farm has magic things, and in such a situation, there are all kinds of people, and people's hearts are unpredictable. If you are not careful, you may capsize in the ditch. In order to avoid this situation, the members who move into the farm can only be decided by me. I think everyone has no objection, right? Su Lin looked around. Several people shook their heads. What's the point of having an opinion or not? You are not satisfied with good food and drink. The reason why Su Lin said this is that some people let their relatives and friends come here to take refuge together. Too many people, not only is it difficult to manage, but the efficiency of the brilliant light will also begin to decline, which is not worth the loss. Well, that's good. By the way, the plants outside will automatically attack when they see strangers at home. You just need to be careful. Okay, there's nothing else to do. Let's prepare dinner. Su Lin waved his hand, walked out of the room, and began to extract plants. Of the few people, the one he trusted the most was of course Su Yue. Her sister would listen to him anyway. Then there was Liang Crossing. You know, Liang Crossing was the leader of the Glory of Humanity organization in his previous life. But in this life, Liang Crossing followed him. So what would happen to Glory of Humanity in the end? The reminder that plants will automatically attack strangers was just for the other men to hear. After some extraction, Su Lin got several dishes and some food materials. Several girls also took the initiative to help and started to cook dinner tonight. Seeing this, Su Lin smiled with relief. Thinking of the completely different situation in the fortress of the god of fire during the day, it brought more warmth. The other men were busy and seemed to have no choice but to wash the dishes and mop the floor. Su Lin quietly walked out of the room and came to the farmland. He collected some hay outside, made a wooden rack, and started a fire. In this way, the other 2 materials of the fire dragon grass were completed. Hay and flame. A handful of flame plus a pile of hay plus a dragon equals fire dragon grass. A dragon. Su Lin rolled his eyes. Ding, congratulations on collecting all the materials and unlocking the fire dragon grass. Ding, congratulations on unlocking the fire dragon grass, gaining 50 experience points and 200 sunlight points. Finally, the fire dragon grass that I thought was a fairy tale was successfully synthesized. Plant, fire dragon grass. Description, spits out flames, attacks all targets within a 3x3 range centered on the right grid sunlight. 150 damage. 30 attack interval. 1.9 seconds, cooling time. 5 seconds, quality, orange. Fire dragon grass itself is a plant with low sunlight consumption, rich creativity, and good group damage. It can harm zombies in adjacent rows, and it can play a different effect when the density of zombies is high. Even if fire dragon grass is the most powerful dragon among plants, it can't stop him from putting on the wings of his dreams. He wants to go to the underwater world to explore a plant that can cause group damage. Su Lin clenched his fists in excitement. He became more and more confident about tonight's challenge. Then come on, powerful creatures of the 7th level. Let's see who is the stronger one. System, plants vs. zombies level, farm LV12, plants, sunshine points. 3505, planting land. 40 defense value. 300 over 300, experience value. 320 over 800, ability, extraction, gold coin upgrade, already unlocked plants, sunflower, pea shooter, nuts, potato butts, cabbage shooter, frozen lettuce, torch stump, charm mushroom, kiwi, boomerang shooter, vegetable question, energy flower, fire dragon grass, unlocked blueprints, gold coins. 0 plant advancement, pea shooter, level 3, cabbage shooter, level 3, sunflower, level 2, kiwi, level 2, nuts, level 2, frozen lettuce, level 2, vegetable question, level 2. Brilliant light, LV2, everything was ready. Su Lin immediately planted the plants that he was going to fight tonight. At the same time, I prayed in my heart that it was not the 0 mode. If it was the 0 mode, when the sunlight points were stretched to the limit, and I encountered a powerful creature, I would have to take the consequences. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 48, finally, level 7. Then Su Lin walked into the gate. The fragrant dinner was ready. Everyone was waiting for Su Lin's arrival. They all regarded Su Lin as the savior. But this savior was not arrogant at all, and was very approachable. What are you doing? It's time to eat. Su Lin waved his hand, indicating that it was time to eat. Waiting for you to come to eat. Several people said in unison. Ha ha ha, then come and sit down. Although he was young, Su Lin's status was there, and this farm was his. Not to mention that only Su Lin could control the mysterious plants here. Even the slightly older director Liu, who could be regarded as an elder, respected Su Lin very much. Fortunately, Su Lin didn't put on airs at ordinary times. The few people got along well, except for a little strangeness. Sitting at the table, chewing slowly, talking and laughing, Zhang Jiajia felt mixed emotions. Last night, it was Yan Wu who activated his superpowers and roasted 2 pigs. The believers ran even faster, swallowing like dogs, pushing and shoving, without any martial ethics to speak of. They looked so anxious, as if they ate a little slower, they would miss this meal. And now, there was a table full of food, ready for you to eat. A combination of meat and vegetables, very healthy. Zhang Jiajia was almost moved to tears. It turned out that they had been eating pig food before, but in such a doomsday with food shortages, they could still be like normal people. Everyone sat together and ate delicious food at the table. What's wrong? Lin Xiaoyan, who was sitting next to Zhang Jiajia, asked with concern. No, no, no. Zhang Jiajia shook his head and arched his nose. It's just that I haven't eaten like a normal person for too long. Ha ha ha. Lin Xiaoyan smiled. She also felt the same way. When she heard that her best friend and classmate Su Yue lived in this paradise on Earth, she didn't believe it. After the radiation outbreak, she rushed over from other cities with the mentality of giving it a try. Now, she had no regrets at all, and even wanted to thank Su Yue with tears and snot. But, Lin Xiaoyan pursed her lips. Her parents. She originally wanted to ask Su Lin for help, wondering if she could also ask his parents to come and take them in. When she contacted them in the morning, she only knew that his parents had been hungry for 2 days and 2 nights. That hurt, especially when she was full and satisfied. Lin Xiaoyan felt even more ashamed. In fact, it was not just her. Even Xiao Wang and Xiao Hong felt the same way. They also had parents, brothers, relatives, and friends. But Su Lin had just said so. What else could she do? The more mature director Liu automatically ignored these emotional factors. She was thankful that she was still alive. So how could she have the nerve to trouble Su Lin with her family? Come on, everyone. Su Lin picked up the water cup. He glanced casually when he saw the flickering gloom on the faces of Lin Xiaoyan, Xiao Wang, and Xiao Hong. His eyes were also inadvertently stained with a little different color. Let's use water instead of wine to welcome Zhang Jiajia. Okay. Thank you all. Burp. He wanted to say some words of thanks, but the burp made Zhang Jiajia a little shy. Ha ha ha, it's okay, don't be nervous. Su Lin laughed. Thank you all. If you need any help from me in the future, I will do my best. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Jiajia took the water cup and drank it all. With that heroic look, People who didn't know him would think he was drinking. Ha ha ha. Amid the warm laughter, everyone was full. They were busy with their own things. After Su Lin stretched and patted his swollen belly, he came to the door threshold alone and sat down. Seeing this, Zhang Jiajia walked up to Su Lin and handed him a cigarette. Come on, big brother, smoke. Who is he? You have this? Who is he? Ha ha ha, a collectible. No one sells cigarettes now. One less cigarette is gone. Yeah, I haven't smoked for a long time. Su Lin stretched out his hand and took the cigarette. He lit the cigarette butt, accompanied by the rich and familiar nicotine. Su Lin took a deep breath. Seeing him so melancholy, Zhang Jiajia wanted to say something comforting, but when the word came to his lips, he didn't know how to say it. In the end, he was silent, shrugging, leaving most of the pack of cigarettes there and leaving. Waiting is really tormenting. Looking up at the bright moon in the sky, Su Lin couldn't help but fall into melancholy. The burden on him now is really too heavy. For the people behind him, he must not fail. Time ticked by. Some people have fallen asleep early. Only Su Lin, Liang Crossing, Director Liu, and Zhang Jiajia were left in the living room. Liang Crossing will not say much. She was full of curiosity. Even though she had seen it twice, she was still as excited as ever. Director Liu and Zhang Jiajia were staying here for the first time. They were very interested in what Su Lin said. Don't open the door at night and there are zombies. Are you guys really not going to sleep? Su Lin rolled his eyes. No, we are going to stay and see. Okay, just don't go out anyway. Su Lin shrugged, and suddenly he had no idea what to do. Dang dang dang. There was a quick knock on the door. Su Lin took a deep breath. He knew that zombies and powerful creatures were coming. He quickly stood up and came to the door. He wanted to see what was happening outside through the window, but he didn't expect that he couldn't see anything in the darkness. At this time, the system's ding 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 prompt sounded. Ding, the 7th level, zombies are coming. Please be prepared. The number of zombies 20. A large wave of zombies is about to attack. Watch out for your head. It's about to be eaten. Ding. Attention. A powerful creature is about to descend on this level. Please be very careful. Once you pass this level, there will be a lot of rewards. Ding. This level is in zero clearing mode. Ding. Please take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, you big-headed ghost. Su Lin twitched his mouth. In the originally dark night, several shining figures appeared. They all held torches in their hands, and they looked like they were not good people. Su Lin quickly planted the first sunflower. All of a sudden, there were 50 sunlight points left, while the sunflower was still in the cooling time. Su Lin squinted his eyes and observed the first zombie that came. Unexpectedly, it was a pyramid zombie. Psycho. Su Lin cursed viciously. I thought there were only 20 zombies, so it shouldn't be that difficult. But now there is a powerful creature like the pyramid zombie right at the beginning. I'm just starting out and only have one sunflower. How can I fight? Question mark. Chapter 49 Appetizer. Ding, the radiant light is triggered. Get 100 sunlight points. Not enough. Su Lin gritted his teeth. Originally, the next plant should be sunflower. But we must quickly attack the pyramid zombies that come to Area A, otherwise Area A may be lost directly. Without hesitation. Potato mine. I don't know how long I have to wait for the pea shooter to slowly spray and attack. It's more exciting to have a potato mine with a boom sound. Potato mines only need 25 sunlight points. At this time, Su Lin, who has a total of 150 sunlight points, first planted pea shooter in the second row of Area A. When the planting was successful, the pea burst was directly triggered. The pea shooter is a 3rd level plant. It has the ability of quick loading. The effect of pea burst has been increased by 10%. But even so, the peas fired continuously hit the pyramid zombies with strong defense, just like a massage. It didn't work at all. Su Lin quickly planted the potato mines on the 7th row of Area A. It takes some time for the potato mines to be triggered, and the pyramid zombies were just on the 8th row at this time. Everything was arranged just right. When the pyramid zombies' feet stepped on the 7th row of soil, boom, explosion, roar. The huge destructive power of the mines blew the pyramid zombies into ashes and turned them into pieces. Su Lin breathed a sigh of relief. In this way, he could continue in an orderly manner. when he saw that the second zombie that appeared was an ordinary zombie. Su Lin was even more relaxed. Scare me to death. How can such a powerful zombie come at the beginning? Not enough sunlight points, not enough plant lines. What the hell? Su Lin cursed while planting the sunflower. Although this ordinary zombie appeared in area B, where there were no plants for defense, but he still decided to wait until he had 100 sunlight points and waited until the sunflowers were cooled down again. Continue planting. Finally, after having 3 sunflowers, Su Lin was able to focus on arranging the battle line. The first sunflower also produced sunlight points. After having 100 sunlight points again, Su Lin planted pea shooters in the second row of area B with a few bangs. One arm of the ordinary zombie was knocked off. With a lingering pace, it only persisted to the 6th row area. Following closely were still ordinary zombies. But they appeared in areas C, D, and E together. Su Lin gave the remaining sunlight points to the fire dragon grass without hesitation. Planted in the 6th row of area D. The 6th row can be said to be the Feng Shui treasure land of the fire dragon grass. After all, the attack of the fire dragon grass is the 3x3 area in front. Planting an area D can even attack the C and D areas next to it. After planting successfully, the fire dragon grass directly triggered the attack. One raised his head and raised the dragon head, swung it down suddenly, and exhaled directly. A horizontal line of flames occupied 3 areas, whirring away. The zombies that just appeared in the 8th row screamed in pain. It's here. After having some capital in his hand again, Su Lin planted nuts in the 7th row of area D. Although the fire dragon grass has the ability to attack the group of the area, but the defense ability is not very good. Often only with nuts can it play a better role. Throw it casually. This time, the last sunflower was finally planted in the 1st row. The next step is to wait for the appearance of sunlight points and arrange the troops. When the ordinary zombies in area D endured the scorching of the flames and came to the 7th row with difficulty, they could only look at the dragon and sigh. After all, the hard nuts blocked it in front. If the powerful defense of the nuts is not broken, there is no way to move forward. So, I'm sorry, this ordinary zombie in area D can only continue to endure the scorching of the flames. Obviously, the zombies in area C and area E were luckier. The scorching flames of the fire dragon grass crippled their 2 arms and half of their bodies, but they finally passed through the range of the fire dragon grass's skills. When they were about to fly freely in the sky, a small ice cube smashed directly on them. Although the attack power of the small ice cube was very limited, it was enough to make the already wounded zombies fall to the ground. Su Lin was not stupid. He would not let the fire dragon grass face the 3 zombies alone. Occasional support was still very important. As the saying goes, a wave of operations is as fierce as a dog. 3 ordinary zombies died directly with a howl under the powerful offensive. The abundance of sunflowers and the arrangement of the initial defense line made Su Lin feel relaxed. And now he just had to wait for the so-called powerful creature. There were not many zombies in this level. Every now and then, the so-called a large number of zombies are coming. Please protect your head. Such a reminder. The powerful zombies also arrived as promised. Explorer zombies. Pharaoh zombie. Egyptian giant zombie. Su Lin took a deep breath. Now he had 3 energy beans, but in order to deal with the next crisis, he decided to use them carefully. Without hesitation, Su Lin planted frozen lettuce directly in the A area. Facing the explorer zombie holding a torch, frozen lettuce can give the heaviest blow. Just a small ice ball can directly extinguish the torch, destroying half of the explorer zombie's power. A torch without flames is just a worn out fire stick, not threatening at all. The pharaoh zombie appeared in the D area. The nuts are still there, and the fire dragon grass is still blazing. The huge figure shrouded the E area. That is the Egyptian giant zombie. But it happened to be in the attack range of the fire dragon grass. Not to mention that, in order to deal with this huge creature, Su Lin specially planted more cabbage shooters in the 4th row of the E area. And the pea shooters plus torch stumps in the 2nd and 3rd rows have begun to attack the Egyptian giant zombie. A nut was thrown over, and with K1 behind, they formed a resistance line. Area E was strong. Let's pray next. Su Lin bit his lip. Fortunately, there are not many zombies this time. It was different from the previous level. The number of zombies in the previous level was overwhelming. This time, the number was relatively small. It did not cause much trouble to Su Lin, but he also understood that this was just the calm before the rainstorm. After a few front row plants were sacrificed, the zombies in front of him were all wiped out. Come on, so-called powerful creatures. Su Lin glared at the darkness in front of him fiercely. His heart was beating wildly, and he was very nervous. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.